You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
What's up, everybody? This is going to be your low energy show because I am fucking done. Adam is unable to make it this week, so we have Chris Pinkerton, if you're nasty, filling in.
What's up, party people?
Adam 2.0.
And, of course, Uncle Dolphin, who you just heard.
What up? Like one sip in the coffees.
I know.
It's kind of early. This is 4 hours earlier than we usually record.
Yes, but I normally thrive in the mornings, and usually I struggle a bit in the afternoons. Like 2 to 4 is like old man falls asleep in a chair shit. But today I'm dragging because it's been so hectic and I haven't had a chance to relax. But I'm going to do so. I'm going to be relaxing this weekend. I was supposed to work Sunday. I'm not going to.
Nice.
And Thursday I'm only working part of the day. So I can go see Venom with Phil and yourself.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about logistics on that.
Okay.
Because my situation changed.
Okay. Mine did. I'm not sure from the last time I told you or not. But I'm going to be heading up earlier in the afternoon.
Okay, well, I'm free all day. So if you wanted me to scoop you up.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Beautiful.
Nice.
Make it work.
That's a good schedule change.
Yes. So, and then I'm going to be hanging out at your house on Saturday with some folks.
Good times.
But
we sound like old fucks right now.
I got I think I need to watch my drinking. Not because it's becoming a problem, but because you probably don't remember, Joe, but like there is a threshold for drinking where when you drink too much, you don't sleep right. Like you wake up, I feel like you go to sleep and then you wake up around 2 or 3 in the morning and then you go back to sleep, like just roll over and go back to sleep. And then from that point until you wake up regularly, that's your sleep.
That's your REM sleep.
Yeah. Because when you pass out, like just because you pass out doesn't mean you're sleeping. Mm-hmm. Your brain isn't doing sleep stuff. It's just passed out.
So, and I mean, not that I'm drinking till I pass out, but
not every night.
Not like Adam sometimes.
No, he goes.
He doesn't drink till he blacks out. He drinks till like he sleeps.
Yeah,
he just needs to
he
lay
drinks
down.
himself to sleep.
Old and soft
and trash.
The drunkest I've ever seen you was at my Christmas party.
Oh yeah,
when you were on the floor.
That's the drunkest I've been in a long time. I needed that night.
That was fun.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris, how was your nerd week? We'll start with you, our guest.
It was good. It was Comic-Con nerd week, so it's always going to be chock full.
We did a show for Patreon.
Yep.
I've listened back to it. It was fucking fantastic. But one of the questions that Brink asked was, what was the cosplay of the year? And I said, I don't really know if there was one, but I'm changing my answer. Raven. I saw more Ravens than I could shake a stick at.
Specific Raven or just a bunch of different kinds of Raven?
Mostly classic Raven. Like hood, cape, white face,
really?
Leotard.
White face, not gray face? Like Teen Titans? Teen Titan Go?
Like a white-ish, like a really light gray maybe.
But like the simple leotard with the belt?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, with some sort of hosiery underneath. It's like white for the legs. But that was the one I saw most often. Continue.
Yeah, there was, I guess the trend will continue for many years. There were 917 poorly done Harley Quinns there.
Of course.
And a wig and some face paint and the daddy's girl shirt.
That's never changed. I mean, it's movie now, but like Harley's always been extremely popular in that.
Yeah, there was one really good classics Harley. Did you see her walking around? Her suit almost had a metallic sheen to it.
I think I did.
And she had the white face paint, like complete white face paint.
Yeah.
She looked sharp.
The best I'd say I saw was the steampunk Batman and Mr. Freeze. Did you
I'm,
see
I'm
them?
biased. I don't like steampunk anything.
I did, and it was awesome.
It was very well done.
But nobody
Yeah.
knows who the fourth person was.
You're right. They were, but it was, you know,
There was Mr. Freeze, there was Batman, Robin, and then who was it? New York Mike that said it was also Jim from accounting.
yeah, it was a very nondescript female character with she
Yeah.
had like a veil over her face.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know, I was up close to those costumes, and at one point in time on Sunday, Brian Brink and I were, you know, making a lap, and we were kind of in their same track, and it was everybody. They were no telling how many pictures they took.
Yeah. As a cosplayer, Joe, when you cosplay with something, you know, that you're like, this shit, you know, I feel like the shit right now.
Right.
When you cosplay in that, do you expect to enjoy the con, or you just know you're just going to be all day taking pictures and...
Yeah, no. It depends on the costume. It's not like a drag or anything because you expect it.
Right, okay.
But yeah, you pick a day because you don't do the same costume every day. Usually for us anyway, you pick one day to do the most extravagant one, and then on Sunday you usually do a very casual one that you probably won't get stopped much, and you can actually look at shit.
Yeah,
I was hoping that no one was dumb enough to think like, oh, I can't even
People
fucking
won't
see
leave
what's
me
going
alone.
on
Well,
here.
they just take the costume off. I mean, there was one year at NYCC we were stuck in one spot for an hour and a half. Like we couldn't leave.
That's awesome.
I mean,
though.
you
Says
can,
something about
you can go. No one's stopping you, but like
Right.
if you're not an ass, then you agree to people asking you to take pictures.
total sidebar here. What do you think about people who are, I don't know if they consider themselves professional cosplayers, but ask people for a tip when they get their picture taken? Is that something
Did you see that?
I've heard of it before? I did
I've
not
never
see
seen
it
that.
here. I've heard of people that say, you know,
Like money?
yeah, like
Oh,
give
that's
a couple
that's
bucks.
that's ridiculous.
Okay.
That's not
I
that's
kinda
not
thought
acceptable.
so.
That might be a Comic-Con thing. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
I heard about it. Where did It may have been somebody on Instagram was talking about it. So,
I mean, everyone just have the handout nowadays.
Yep.
so
That's your hobby. I mean, even if you're professional, that's your hobby and your career, and people should pay you when you're doing a professional job, not when you're
Right.
walking around taking pictures.
yeah, it's more of an advertising.
Yeah.
Speaking of handouts, feel free to join our Patreon at Patreon, Nerd Rage Radio. We're doing good stuff on there. There's a really great show about Baltimore on there.
That's right. So
People are asking, like, that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm surprised, but not surprised. Like, it's not incredulous to me because I just know how people are.
Nice word,
Incredulous.
Joseph. It always makes me think of the Tool song "Vicarious."
Yes, I like this.
There he goes. Incredulous at best, your desires to believe in angels in the hearts of men. That shit. That is my fucking life. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So Thursday, my wife set up there at almost sitting JCC in Baltimore. I helped her Thursday and Friday. Saturday, I stayed home, and Mason, my oldest, went with her. And then I took the kids on Saturday to the I don't know, I want to call it a dollar theater, but it's not a dollar anymore in Frederick. I think it's called the Holiday Cinema.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's a
Old school.
It's yes. It was a good. We went and saw Teen
It's like
Titans.
where
go to
the
movies.
floors are permanently sticky.
They are.
It's like an X-ray theater.
No, it was just like so many sodas have been poured on that
And
bitch
it's-
for 50 years, probably.
Yeah, it's not stadium seating. You know, it's got the slope floor, which honestly, it was super comfortable. The picture was super crisp. I wasn't mad at it. It wasn't super expensive to take the kids. We saw Teen Titans go to the movies.
How much bigger was the screen than your TV at home?
2 or 3, maybe 4 inches. No, it was a decent sized screen, and I mean it was a huge cinema too. So
I took Jaina there to see Brave in the movies when that was out. That's
it's
the only
just
one I've seen.
very oddly run. Like the movie's supposed to start at 3. I got there like 30 minutes early just because that's what you do at a movie. Well, the movie actually didn't start till like 3:10 because Incredibles was running before that, and the guy had to half-ass sweep.
Half-ass.
And it was us, my 2 kids, and one single lady that was in the whole theater. I don't understand their business operation.
And there's someone up there changing the reels, even
Yeah.
though it's a digital film.
However it is.
They had to make the digital transfer to a reel.
To a reel in order to
Right.
watch it
That's
there.
right. We have to be backwards compatible.
It was Phillips, opposite of a CD burner.
That's what it is. I picked up some prints from Mike Zeck, who drew my childhood, and I didn't really realize it, but I actually got to shoot the shit with him for about 10 minutes, which was cool. And yeah, that was really it for the con. I picked up some random ass figures. I went to I finished the third Hellboy Library Edition book.
Damn, you're flying through these. They're big books.
They are big books, but they're super thick pages, so it's not as many stories as you'd think. And there's a huge section in the back of sketches and whatnot in every
gotcha.
book. So that's 3 I'm through. I think I have 7 of the hardcovers. So
You collected those very quickly.
I bought one, enjoyed it. Bought the next one, enjoyed it, and then I found the rest of them on eBay for like basically $20 a piece.
That's awesome.
That in a bulk, like Goodwill selling them on there or something.
I saw some pictures online with live action Hellboy. It looks fucking good.
Yeah, so there's a new movie coming out in April. It's what's his name? The guy who plays the sheriff on Stranger Things, David Harbour.
It looks fucking.
It looks really good. So it's a completely retelling of the story away from the
Del Toro
Del
universe.
Toro.
A proper reboot.
A proper reboot. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
just
looking for
completely
that.
disconnect. Just start over.
Yeah. It's starting over.
Not that I don't like the other ones.
No, I enjoyed them actually. I've watched them both again recently, and the second one gets a lot of hate, but it's a good story.
The Golden Army?
The Golden
I
Army.
like
I
it.
enjoy it. Yeah. I like the visuals.
And it gets a lot more into the Inhuman universe.
Yeah.
I like to see all
the trolls and all that.
the
going on.
elves and
That was really cool.
The elves are fucking cool.
yeah.
In the second one, anyway. Like, I don't know how accurate that is to the books. I'm going to assume none.
I haven't run into the Golden Army in the books I've read so far. I do know that
But they were fucking cool.
yeah. I do know that the story for the new one is based on one of the stories from Hellboy, and it's very, very interesting the way that series was done. It was just a bunch of miniseries. It wasn't Hellboy 1 through 50, so it's Hellboy, this story, that story.
That's why I was
4
thinking.
or 5 issues.
Like, that's why I thought the movies worked, because Hellboy seemed like an episodic character where he just does adventures. There's no
Right.
real time to it.
Yeah, and they jump through time constantly.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be a story in the 60s, and this one's set in the 80s. And
What made you want to jump into that? Into Hellboy? I mean, it's a very specific and relatively peculiar choice.
It is, and you'll have you ever bought a figure and wanted to know more about the character?
Sure. Well, no. To be fair, it's usually the other way around. Well, every now and then, sometimes a Marvel Legend, like I'm familiar with the character, and then I'll buy it, and then when I see it in a book I'm reading, I'm like, oh, I'm going to give more of a fuck about what
Right.
they do. So yeah, I guess so.
So 1,000 Toys is a brand that I absolutely adore, and
they're
they
doing
have
that
a
Hellboy.
Hellboy, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm gonna get it. One, it looks awesome. 2, it's 1,000 Toys, and so I asked Iron Claw, Matt E.
Yep.
He's a huge Hellboy fan. I'm like, okay, where do I start? And so he pointed me in the direction of basically an omnibus book, but then I found these library editions like that, that one over there. I'm like, oh, those are dope, and they're not that much more, so I just started on those.
Yeah.
And
No, that's
it's
cool.
a huge universe, and that Matt warned me that he's like, look, it's deep once you get in, because there's the Hellboy series, there's the BPRD series, there's the Lobster Johnson series, there's the Abe series, and they're still to this day, creating new material. So
That's cool.
I think that Sentinel Toys, Flame Toys, 1,000 Toys are all connected
they are
somehow.
sister companies, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
all high quality shit.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
They make the best robots.
Agreed.
The Riobot brand.
yeah. So there's an Iron Spider 6-scale Sentinel figure coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
From a character wise, I really don't care. It's
looks cool.
a comic based version.
No.
Oh, yeah.
See, Bobby, you don't get on Facebook. You're missing on this shit.
I know. Dude, I got on Facebook recently. Like, I opened my proper Facebook to not check the Nerd Rage notes,
Right.
And I saw the notifications, and I was like, okay, I'm going to scroll to the bottom. I want to go through. And I was like, no, I'm not. I got like 2 thumb scrolls through, and I was like, I'm stopping.
Scroll. No, scroll. It gets better. So, 1,000 Toys, where I got introduced to them was the synthetic humans. Mm-hmm. The articulation is just bananas on those, and they've basically taken that mold and gone,
That.
oh, that's the money shot right there. Him kneeling while he's balancing on
Yep.
they've taken that articulation and used it in all sorts of other stuff.
I think that's Michael Turner.
That his art.
Like, I think that's what this is based off of. It was a Civil War cover that Michael Turner did.
Yeah, I remember that now. I mean, I'm seriously contemplating pre-ordering that. It's like $275, which all things considered isn't that bad.
275.
Yeah, it's a 6-scale.
Oh, 6 scale. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's not.
I was like, I can't
No.
fuck with you on
Yeah.
this.
So
Oh, Mr. 8 fucking Hot Toys coming this month.
No, but not for 1/12. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking in my
yeah.
head.
So no, they do those Iron Man suits. But they're an
fucking
odd scale.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem because they don't go with anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just gonna build, a shelf
Just
of those,
Iron Man, then you can get those.
but that's that's an interesting piece for sure. But so they're all wrapped up somehow in there.
It seems like it.
Sister companies in some capacity. So.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's really it. I'm trying to think if I watched anything. I'm still not done with Iron Fist. I have like 2 episodes left. It's not that I don't want to watch. It's like normally Mason and I, my oldest, we normally watch that stuff together. But it just didn't work out this time. Like I had several flights with work, so I always
Plus
try to-
Baltimore, back
Yeah.
to school.
back to school. I'm busy as hell with diorama stuff. I've got this new equipment I'm trying to get my head
I know,
around.
like, I'm trying to get my hands around it.
I mean, you know where I live. We'll get it.
Yeah, I might bring some sheets this weekend. Leave them over there.
We'll see what's up. I mean, if it's fan fold foam, you don't need to bring me anything.
Okay, perfect.
I'm good.
Perfect.
I'm good.
Joseph, what about you?
Well, we went.
We did.
That was a great day. We hung out all day. We went to Be More.
Yeah.
And the recording for your new song, Nothing
It's
for
done.
Me. The recording session was really interesting. The dude was interesting. The equipment was interesting. I never had a behind the scenes look like that.
One thing that he did, I told Joe, I thought was cool, was he's playing it and he's mixing it and for those that aren't Patreon, like there is going to be a new song this year. It has been recorded. He's playing it through the monitors, right, as he's mixing it. And then when he thought he had it to a good point, he hit a button and it starts playing out of this little shitty handheld radio boombox. And then he listened to it for a minute and then flipped it back to the monitors. And I think it's just so, like, because the monitors produce such a good sound that, like, it can be misleading as to the actual sound quality.
Yeah, when
so
you
he
listen to it on something else, it's not going to sound like
So he
something.
flips it to the biggest piece of shit you can find to see if it's at least decent on there, which gives him an idea, and then he flipped it back to the monitors.
Yeah,
It
to
was-
see what it would sound like on 102Q.
yeah,
Or 92
key.
Q.
I ain't with that 92 key shit.
And his technical expertise was impressive.
So we talked about this on the Patreon.
A good bit.
This is a gentleman's home.
No,
Is this
no, it's a business.
Okay. It
Yeah.
was a little unclear when.
Yeah, and it's like it's really impressive. He used to have it in his basement years ago, but he had moved out to this location, and I knew he had moved it out. And I had actually stopped by there one time just to say hello because I was in the area, but I'd never been in. And it was very.
It was all built.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him because he's like a hardworking guy. Like he's a guy that's got his fingers in 10 different pies. But
So is he doing this for a living, or is this part of his living?
part of his living. Yeah, he does some construction. He does he's involved in a lot.
I feel you.
So
Got that diversified bond.
yeah, 100%. He is a gentleman. He's always been a
got the
gentleman.
revenue streams on lock.
So yeah, continue.
Yeah, so that was cool. We're listening to that shit on loop. Dude, I've been listening to almost, music-wise, other than podcasts, I've been listening to basically nothing but that song. I've been hurting myself in the gym because it gets me going, and I'm like, I got one more rep. I'm fucking in pain right now. I'm not like injured, but like just pushing too fucking hard.
Yeah, there's
I need you to send me that.
Hey,
yeah.
I pre-ordered that shit.
I'll
Well,
send.
I didn't get the link.
Yeah, well, I'll take it out in foam. There's a I don't want to give them away on. I told about some of it on the Patreon, but like, there's a couple lines in there that I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn, I'm proud of that.
And that one part in the first verse, the
With
mix.
that's
Oh,
crazy.
God.
Yeah. Hey, that dude knew what he was doing. He knew his way around that stuff.
And and the thing is, it didn't look like he was like super paying attention, but fucking he was. He was like, doing stuff. He was also talking to the girl that was there a little bit. But like, as soon as anything was said, he's like, this spot, and this spot. I'm like, oh shit, he was paying attention.
Yeah, and I said like at that one point I mentioned also that I was like, I want to cut and paste that laugh from that to there's this part in the second verse, and he was like, yeah, I know the part, the end of the second bar, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, I couldn't have told you that, and I was fucking watching.
right. Yeah, he was a professional. I appreciated his ethic for sure.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. And then we went to set up a little bit anyway, set up the shelves and stuff.
Yeah,
for-
no,
for the wall.
we got a good bit done to where I could kind of go in Friday and just lay some shit out.
Yeah.
And then Laura came in Saturday and made it look prettier. And then for Sunday, she really
Got a
did some good work.
Ladies touch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, majority of it was fucking waiting in line. I don't know why they have one loading dock
God.
to fucking to
And we could have gone down to that because you had to go into the main loading dock also, right? Where there was all those cars, and then you had to bring the shit all
It's
the way
fucking
around.
far. It's on
When
the
there's
other
a whole
side.
fucking loading dock
Right
by
by where you
Artist
are.
Alley.
Well, I found I probably wasn't supposed to do this, but I was like, that garage door points the same direction I'm going. Let's see where it goes, and it comes out like right there. So I found a little shortcut where you didn't have to like go through where everybody was piled up trying to register.
Yeah.
It basically came out right by where all the food vendors were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I.
That's where I went out to smoke. It was actually this one day, it was Saturday. I like walked out of that door, the single door right next to the I walked out of that door and there was like all the loading dock guys that like us work there or like hanging out like a lounge area, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Chilling, man." And I just started vaping, and like this one guy was like, "That motherfucker's crazy." And then like we just started hanging out and kicking it for a bit. Like, it was good. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
So we hung up like all day.
Yeah, it was good.
Mostly in the car, but
It was very helpful.
Chatting and jamming out to the music. It's fucking great.
I had mentioned on the bonus one that I felt like I was getting ready to take a test when we were sitting in the.
Yeah, I'm like, it's weird because it's your thing.
Yeah, I think
like no one's.
I think it's a little bit of performance anxiety.
Yeah,
like
that's what I asked you is did you have anxiety performing in front of essentially a stranger?
stranger, yeah, and then also like I'm.
Oh, you
paying
worry about him judging.
that, and also like I'm paying money for this, so like I gotta get it right because I've got 2 hours to make this work, and
And you
that's
had
it.
you had it done. And
Yeah,
so-
it was-
I mean, the majority, well, not majority. Like the only time that was like maybe wasted was downloading the music.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
that was like 15 minutes where he had to get the fucking music on his
That was
computer.
a pain in the ass.
I wonder if 2 hours probably isn't a huge amount of time for him, but I'm wondering if he thought, man, this got 2 hours. Well, we ain't gonna get shit done in 2 hours. I'm wondering if
Yeah.
coming in, obviously you were very well prepared for this,
Yeah.
and we talked a little bit. I'm sure he deals with some real knuckleheads that
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you told him you mixed the track, he was like, oh, and he was interested.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that point. And but yeah, you didn't you only had to record maybe a couple verses twice. And,
Yeah.
I mean, you had everything. I can tell you have everything laid out in your head because
Yeah.
like it came out sounding exactly like you wanted to, with all the cut-ins, with fills and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like it was very organized.
And there was that one part where I was like, "Fuck," and then I was like, "I'm sorry, I lost control of my emotions."
And I was thinking, like, this is not a home studio, but it's not like a professional studio, like as a big name studio. So I'm sure he got fucking knuckleheads going in there.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
has no. I couldn't imagine you being anywhere near, the
Nonsense.
the bottom of,
Yeah,
of the people who goes there.
Hey
Yeah.
man, I'm leasing this beat. I've only got it for 3 hours. Can we get this done?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he talked about that too, like
Yeah.
people coming in with bought beats and leased beats, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Strangely enough, I was talking to Dust Mites this past week, and I don't remember if we talked about it on our show or not, but he said he used to pay his rent leasing beats on like MySpace.
Really.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he
That's
paid
awesome.
his rent leasing beats.
I'm anxious to hear what he comes up with now that he's got some proper equipment.
Oh yeah, so he got Fruity Loops like the pro version, and he got the keypad for it.
Yeah.
And yesterday, so I'm excited to. He's dropped a couple things he's done.
I just want to hear
great.
him, like, because Fruity Loops, the version that he was using, is, I think, mainly what he was using on there were loops and breaks.
Yeah,
So, like, the freedom that being able to actually program it and play it, for lack of a better term, yourself, I'm just interested to see where he goes with that. Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, and he knows about video games. I was like, oh, nice. That makes me like you more because you're talking about Street Fighter. Because he put up your videos.
They
He
were
was-
watching, I told them they
Yeah.
were watching reviews when we left.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you YouTube? What do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I do reviews." Skullface.
Yeah. And then that lady didn't want anything to do with the skull mask.
She was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see a black girl dressed up as Jigsaw from Saw.
Oh,
the
shit.
next
Really?
day. So I know we had talked about
Yeah.
at the show.
Dude, I thought it was fucking hilarious when he was like, "Do you mind listening to one of my beats?" at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And you said, "Of course not." As in, "Of course not. I wouldn't mind." I wanted to.
Right.
Say, he thought you shot him down.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, okay." forget that then. And he closed the folder. I'm like, wait, I think you
he was
miscommunication.
Like, he was like, would you like to hear some of the beats I made? And or would you mind hearing some of the beats I made? And I was like, of course not. And he was like, okay, that didn't take long to say no to, I guess. And I was like, no, I'm saying of course not. Like, of course I wouldn't mind. Like, please play them.
Double negative.
Yeah.
And I did like his beat.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Was it a trap beat?
No,
it
was,
had,
Was there a running high?
it was modern,
It's like moody.
but it had a vibe. It wasn't just like, for the club or for the lean or whatever. Like, it had a, like you had to talk about something on it.
Yeah. Last week I talked about. I just mentioned I listened to that Wolverine podcast, and I forgot to talk about. We just went off in a tangent, but I liked it. I want to hear more, but they're kind of short. They're like anywhere between like 15 minutes to half an hour, and I don't know how often they come out.
And they're acting it out, right?
Yeah.
Is it ever too much?
No.
Sound
Okay,
effects and
good.
stuff too.
Yes. Like you hear background noises when on a boat. You hear like this shit like that.
Claws.
Not yet. But you know how we always talk about what we want from a Spawn movie or what could be a Batman movie, where
It's told from the top perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is like that.
Okay.
It's like a mystery going on. There's these two agents. You don't exactly know what they're up to, but they're going around interviewing people in this a rural Alaska town, and this murders and shit. And they think maybe Logan did it. You hear Logan speak a couple of times. His voice is pretty good. The first voice that comes on the podcast from the episode 1, I thought that was Logan's voice, and I'm like, that's too much. But it was a sailor.
Gotcha.
But so that threw me off.
He's like, ahoy, matey. And you're like,
But yeah, it's interesting. Like he talked on the phone once, and you hear him narrate his own letter that somebody found, talking about how he's trying to get away from society to more rural areas where Weapon X can't get him, where there's not phones everywhere. That's why he's in this fucking rural town in Alaska. And there's also this cult.
cool.
There's also this cult in this town, and they might be part of the murders. They found some dead bodies that the local police are saying is bear maulings, but no one's like believing that shit. So it's like a murder mystery, conspiracy thing.
right.
So now I want more. So I want to know more.
Well,
So
good.
That was good. So I don't know if anyone has time. It's short, like I said. It's only been like 5 or 6 episodes out, and it's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes each.
So is it the people that are doing this? Have they done other types of things like this before?
I have no idea, but this is official.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
an actual-
really?
I thought it was like a just
No, it's
freestyle.
official Wolverine Marvel thing.
No shit.
Wolverine: The Long Night.
How are they not promoting that in any capacity?
I don't even know how.
how did you
I
find
only heard about it because one of our listeners suggested we listen to it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't remember your name off the top of my head right now, but thank you because like
Say it was Kevin.
I have
It's probably Kevin.
I have a long ass drive every week, so that's good.
James from accounting.
I watched The Invitation. It's like a suspense / horror movie. I wasn't scared. I was just real mad the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Was it
I think it's
was
a
it
personal thing.
Asian casting
No,
thing? Or?
no.
Oh, okay.
There was one Asian girl and one black guy. Oh no, there was an Asian girl, an Asian guy, and a black girl in it.
Oh, wow.
But it is one of those things. It's a white person party. Well, like me and Chris was like, oh, this is some shit white people would do. I would have left a long time ago. But like, shit got super awkward. Like in the beginning, okay, so this guy and this lady had a divorce because their kid died. Some drama happened. It's 2 years later. They're getting all the old friends back together to try and heal old wounds and trying to be okay again.
Okay.
And it's super awkward from the get-go. And I'm like, I think I would have left. Like 5 minutes into it. Oh, I might not even have gone because they didn't break up in good terms. And like 20 minutes into it, I'm like, why are they still fucking there?
I thought
And then
you-
me and Crystal was like, this is some white people shit, ain't it?
I thought you meant awkward white people party. Like they were like, "Thanks for coming. The theme is insects. You're a caterpillar." And like put little antennas on your head, like on one of them little bands. And
Well, there's weird shit going on. That's why it's a suspense / horror movie.
I gotcha.
But it is some white people shit. But yeah, I did not enjoy it, but it just made me mad instead of suspensed. But I would say watch it if you're into that genre.
okay,
Oh, and I get the main character mixed up with Tom Hardy. He's not Tom Hardy, but with a beard, he looks kind of like Tom Hardy. I'll pull up later and see if it's just me being racist and thinking white guys with beard look the same thing.
shadows.
Okay.
There's a couple of anime I started watching, but I'll wait for Adam next week to talk about it because he's my anime anchor in the show. None of you give a fuck about that shit.
Not too much. All right, let me give it a little save. All right, so let me see what I did. Baltimore, of course, we talked a good bit about that. We did okay. Like, we fell a little short of our goals, so we're sitting kind of behind the 8 ball for TFCon. But, I think it was worth going. I will say this, like, I think we need to, and I talked to you a bit about this, like, we need to change our approach for Baltimore.
I mean, your fan base is a more Transformers base anyway. Like, TFCon is more home for you than BCC, right? Not particularly your material, not just your art, because you have diverse art, but
right?
Like your fans personally.
Yes, absolutely. However, there were a lot of people that came by the table, like, which I appreciate 100%. But the people next to me were like, they kept telling my wife, like, how do all these fucking people know him? Like, like they were like, what the fuck? Like, there's always like 20 people hanging out or whatever. And they were like, next year you should just put a fucking lounge in your,
because you were in the selling area, probably.
Yeah, probably. And we're right back at it. So
I'm actually surprised you like Bob Seger. It doesn't seem like it's your cup of tea.
I like the songs the mom sings.
That's because they're like dad jokes. Okay, I get it.
My favorite song from there is when they went to the food truck festival and the kind of Fiona Apple girl was up there and she goes, "Oil spill."
Yes.
It's big and wet.
What was the Bosburgers one with the turkey?
Oh God, there's a song every episode basically at the end.
Oh, it's the one where all the turkeys got loose in the
Hold on, this is it. I'm gonna play it real quick. It's 49 seconds.
Yes, the cranberry sauce with half mashed potatoes. Oh, the turkey looks great. Thank you for loving me.
Glenn,
Thank you for being there.
please.
Thank you for loving me.
Oh, God.
Everyone's thanking. The whole
Glenn.
world's thanking you.
Stop.
Thanking
Glenn,
us for thanking you.
Glenn,
Kill the turkey.
Glenn.
Pass the cranberry sauce with half mashed potatoes. Oh, the turkey looks great. Thank you for loving me.
Glenn.
Thank you for being there.
I feel like that's you, and then Laura saying, "Bobby, stop."
It is definitely me. We're having mashed potatoes. I was singing along to some song last night. Oh God. I think it was a Christian song. It was just "Bring Back Your Love" or something like that. And like the kids were like having a hard time fucking wiping down the goddamn table and chairs, which we do every night after dinner. And I was like, I was like singing I was like, you gotta wipe the table down, wipe the table, then the chairs. Like, so I drive them nuts with that kind of shit.
Did you ever see, the same voice actor does Bob and he does Archer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Episode of I don't know what season it is. You can Google it easily enough. There's an episode of Archer. It's like the season premiere where he is Bob, and the whole thing's been a covert operation.
Oh,
and
shit, no, I need to see that.
It's awesome.
That's fucking awesome.
And they got all the voice actors are there, and I think they end up killing everybody except him as Bob.
I've never watched Archer.
I haven't either. It's got kind
Really?
of a cult following.
Yeah,
I
want
watched
to.
it like the first 3 seasons and I liked it, but like it was a hiatus.
Remember
before they come
Adam
back.
showed up as Archer last year? I thought he was
Oh
Obama.
yeah, I knew.
You thought it was
Obama.
I knew they were right away, but he didn't blackface.
Yeah, because it had that like
The shadow, like the cel-shaded look.
the cell shaded look, but it looked like Obama's skin tone, like that, And then he was like,
I get it because you don't see in color, so that makes sense.
So anyway, we did okay at Baltimore, but it just puts us a little bit behind the 8 ball, but we'll work it out. But I was saying, I think we need to change our approach. We sold like a lot of things from $10 to $25,
Makes sense.
but we brought a lot of higher end
The
stuff.
blankets. I mean, the blankets are really nice. I'm sure people like it and think it's worth it, but not everyone has kind of money.
What's
Yeah.
your price point on those?
So the fleece are 70, but we only have 2 left, and we might do them as raffles for TFCon. We're going to do a lot of stuff for TFCon. And then we have the plush for 100, the Sherpa
Sherpa.
for 125. The
You
Sherpas
sell
are
any of
really
those? They
fucking
are so
good.
nice.
Yeah,
They're
they're
so nice.
really fucking
You
good.
didn't buy them?
And then we have the woven
The
for
woven are super
150.
good.
Yeah. So
Oh, really? The woven is more expensive than Sherpa. Oh.
So it's I think we're going to change our approach if we do it next year and just focus on the $10 to $25 stuff and have a lot more of it. Cause like we did sell out. You know, it's so interesting. Like 2 years ago, we talked about doing away with mouse pads because who uses fucking mouse pads anymore? You know?
I told you what people use mouse pads for now.
Yeah. Crumbling weed.
Yep.
But what's crazy is we almost sell out every year. Like we can't afford to not do them.
I mean, they're kind of versatile. You can use them for anything. That's
crazy.
They're like little soft things.
Maybe get a grinder to go with it.
Put Optimus on the grinder. And then let's see what else I wanted to talk about. If there's anything regarding that, I'm not sure. I did watch this documentary. I watched it on the way to work. Like just had it on and listened to it. What do you need to really watch a documentary for? And I'm old and I'm soft and I'm trash. But I fucking damn near cried like 2 times on my way to work. So it was a documentary called Batman and Bill. Now,
I've watched this, the Bill Finger one.
oh my God.
Did you cry too?
I don't remember crying.
It was fucking heart-wrenching. Like,
You
so
look real fucking sad right now. Just thinking about it.
I'll be honest. I remember. I know that I watched it. I don't really remember much about it. It seems like it was a while back.
so there's always been these rumors that I've heard just from being involved in comics and, you know, in the culture that Bob Kane didn't create shit. You know, that the Batman and a bunch of the villains and Robin and Gotham and the Batcave and Alfred and Gordon and fucking all that shit was created by this guy, Bill Finger. Yeah. And Bob Kane took it and ran away with it, basically. And then that he didn't create the Joker either. This guy, Jerry Robinson, created the Joker, was what I'd always heard. But, you know, I didn't want to necessarily believe it without doing any research. So, Bill Finger came up on Shattered Cast for whatever reason. And I mentioned it, and then I was like, you know what? I should do a little bit more research. And I was thinking about doing some research so I could do a video about it and test the waters on that. But then I came to find out there's like full-length documentaries about it. So I was like, well, that's a little bit. I probably don't need to do anything.
Well, you can do a Reader's Digest version for Sit Down Saturday.
Yeah. So I was looking at it and like this. So basically, they contacted Bob to create a character to be kind of the answer to Superman, and he came up with this idea of a character called Batman. And he looked like Robin in a lot of ways. And he ran the idea past Bill Finger. Bill Finger fleshed out the story, the origin story, the parents' murder, the whole bit, changed the design, gave him the cape and cowl, gave him the bat wing cape, you know, gave him the bat symbol, gave him all that shit. And
Basically all of them,
basically.
other than the name.
And then Bob Kane ran away with it. Well, Bill Finger for years disputed it. Like, hey man, like that's my character. Like, can I get a co-credit or something? And he was like, you don't have anything. It was all me, 100% me. But then Bob Kane published a book called like Batman and Bob. And in that book, he says that fucking this dude co-created it, Bill Finger. So Bill Finger died like in a fucking pauper's grave and shit, like just with a number and all this shit. And the guy that's doing the documentary is trying to get him justice, for lack of a better term, but he's running into walls because there doesn't seem to be an apparent heir to dispute it. So he finds an heir. Bill had a son named Fred. So he contacts Fred, or he's trying to contact Fred. Fred is dead. He died of HIV. Or AIDS.
Yeah,
and
it's all coming back to me now that you're telling me this.
yeah, and like, so he's like, fuck, that's it. It's over. You know, I'll just try to spread the word and educate people. Well, he finds this niece or something of some married person into the family and contacts them, and they're like, well, you know, you should probably talk to, I forget her name now. You should probably talk to Kathy, let's say. Like, well, who's Kathy? Kathy's Fred's daughter. And he's like, what? And apparently Fred was married for a bit, had a daughter. So they contact Kathy, they get in touch with her, and they fight basically to get rights to Batman to go to this guy, like at least co-credit rights. Anyway, they end up doing it, like, so now he's mentioned, like Bill Finger's mentioned on all the material, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was some particular. I think it was one of the animated movies coming out right then. No,
It was BVS.
BVS, yeah.
Yep.
The beginning of BVS says Batman created
That's
by
fucking awesome.
Bob Kane and
Did
Bill
it get any
Finger.
money? Hopefully.
Well, the family does now.
Good. That's fucking good.
So then they
Sucks for the guy because he's dead and didn't see it, but you know.
they were looking through his, because like one of the next things they were going to do was buy like a gravestone for him, like a proper gravestone. And they were looking through like some of the old archive stuff in the family collection, and like I don't know, my memory's foggy on it, but I don't know if they came across a journal or something. But the dude Fred didn't bury him; it's just a mark for him, and he had him cremated and took the ashes out to California, drew a bat symbol in the sand and filled it with his ashes and let the ocean come and take it away. And I was like, God damn, it's fucking beautiful. I'm like fighting back tears in this fucking
this
thing.
shit.
You know, it
That's
was,
the mad feels, man.
yeah, it was crazy. And like, you know, it was a very fucking touching story with a happy ending. So
I think that happens a lot in, with everything. But I mean, even if you look like, so I don't know if you guys have seen, I want to say it's called Power of Grayskull. There's a
Yeah,
human.
Yeah,
Great.
dude, it's great.
Right.
fucking-
So it is almost like a companion piece to the toys that made us.
Yes.
Yes.
The toys that made us, and as much as I enjoy that series, I think there's a lot of manufactured drama and anything like that. It's, well, I created He-Man. No, I created He-Man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that whole bit, because what happens is they'll say, hey, Bobby, I need you to, I've got these 3 characters. I need you to flesh out this Uncle Dolphin character.
Right.
Well, you basically come up with everything, and then Uncle Dolphin takes off, and, you know, Joe's making $1 trillion, and, well, what about me? Well, you got paid your, you know, $150 to design this character.
yeah,
That's a difference between legality and fucking human decency, like
Correct.
ethics and
Yeah,
morality. You know, like a
exactly.
decent dude wouldn't do that kind of thing.
Right.
But I mean,
but they had like, before all the evidence came out, you know, I'm still trying to be skeptical, right? Like that's my approach with everything.
yeah,
So they had this shit where they were like, they had interviews with all these people, Kevin Smith and et cetera, and they're all like, yeah, it's Bill Finger. Batman is Bill Finger. And Bob came in, and I was like, okay, I guess a little bit of, but then I read this fucking Neil Gaiman quote about this dude, and I was like, holy shit, I'm going to bring it up. Cause like, Neil Gaiman doesn't really, mince words a whole lot.
Yeah, he doesn't say a lot, but when he says something, it's pretty poignant.
Right. And he had this quote about Bob Kane, and I want to say it was when Bob died. I want to say. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it now. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Bob Kane was, by all accounts, a strange guy. He didn't have much talent, but he had a certain amount of luck, and most people know that Bob Kane was the creator of Batman, even if they don't know that he didn't write or draw any Batman stuff. No one else who did anything got any credit in Bob Kane's head. The other people who drew Batman, even Neil Adams or Frank Miller, in Bob's mind were just his ghosts. The only thing that was important to Bob Kane was Bob Kane. And I keep thinking of him after a conversation of a couple nights ago with Joe Quesada. Todd McFarlane says to tell you that on his Miracle Man stuff, he'll take it all the way. He'll take it to the mat, he said. He told me to tell you, though, that if you could sort it all out just by getting a room with him, man to man, and hammering out an agreement, he made me promise to say that if Neil keeps up, Todd's going to go public with all the dirt on Neil. Oh, wait, I guess this is other shit. So anyway, so that was like his like beef. I mean, that was the nail in the coffin for me when I read that he said that. I was like, oh, okay, this is
definitely
legit.
legit.
Yeah.
I feel like they could make a movie out of this. Some kind of
Oh yeah,
dramatized
100%. They did a movie on the creator of Wonder Woman, and that's an interesting story, but I don't think it's as interesting.
Yeah,
as
no, this
It's
is
tragic.
There's a lot of drama.
Yeah.
and shit in here.
And then the only other thing I'm reading, Riddles and Jokes or whatever, the War of Riddles and Jokes is it's a Batman. Yeah, it's a Batman book from Rebirth, and there's this fucking page in there that I was like, God damn, yes. Yeah, the Bane is the main antagonist at this point, and Bane is fucking him up, and he's like, do you know who I am? Do you know the man who can break you? Do you know the man who can destroy you? Do you know I am Bane, and you will never see the light of day? And Batman's like all fucked up, like on the floor. And he's getting up and he's like, do you know how many times I've heard that? You'll never make it through the night. This is the end of you. I will destroy you. You're a goner. You're dead. And yet, here I am. And do you know why? And he fucks Bane up. And he goes, because I'm the fucking Batman. And it's like,
Nice.
yes! And I think that was about it. We've been bagging up shirts and all that shit. Appreciate all that. And mailing
Everything
it out.
shipped.
Yeah, all orders as of this moment have been fulfilled.
And you have a few of some sizes
We got a
left.
few left, not much. And that's it. And I think we're still doing pretty good. We inventoried most stuff. I think we just bought a few extra things because we sold out of some coasters and we sold out. But I think for the most part, we're set for
Yeah, 'cause
for TFCon.
And people go to Artist Alley, as far as I know. When I was going to, I haven't gone to con in like 2-3 years, really. But like people go to Artist Alley, have a stack of cash and they buy a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different people. So it's never usually big stuff,
Yeah.
unless they're really a fan of just one person and they spend all the money there. But otherwise,
Or one property.
Let me ask you a question about Baltimore. Obviously, it was my second year there. Last year was my first as a, just as an attendee.
oh yeah, I forgot you recently moved here,
Yeah,
relatively speaking.
right. Last summer. So, obviously I went with Bobby and his crew last year. This year I was there, from somewhat of a vendor's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When you was set up there in the past, have you been closer to the center of the room, or have you always kind of been in that kind of, I won't say the outskirts, but the end of the aisles, the way we
I've
were set up?
always been closer to the center of the room because I've always been quick to register a table.
So, I think, Kelly's booth was like 4 spots from the very back of the room. If you walked in the main door and came straight down.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of people that said, man, I've spent all my money already before I
Before I
got
saw
back
you.
here.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if placement,
Oh,
and I
definitely.
guess she is talking to her neighbor who was an artist from New York City, and she had registered at a particular time, and Kelly had registered at a particular time, and they were months and months apart, yet there they are next to each other. And then that girl had asked specifically not to be set up by this guy next to her that I guess she had some beef with or something, and they set them right next to up to each other anyway. So
So I wonder if it's randomized.
Yeah, I
or
don't know.
No,
if you
it's
can
first come, first serve, they say.
But like, do you get to pick?
well,
No.
they say
So what does that mean though? First come, first serve.
So they have it labeled out like, I think it's all the corner tables of the first row first.
Yeah, you get more
And then the
traffic there.
Yeah, and then the row, and then the corner tables of the back of the first row,
Mm-hmm.
and then on to the next section.
I see.
So I've always been up front, and I think 2 out of 4 times I've done that show, I've had a corner table. But it's gotten, just keeps getting perpetually bigger.
right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, since I haven't gone in like a couple of years, like, is it more and more like NYCC? Because like I've been
It's
in
it's still more manageable than NYCC.
but it's getting to be like Wizard World, man. It's getting to be
yes,
more like celebrities.
It's arguably as big, if not maybe even slightly bigger than Wizard World now. Wizard World Philly.
I wasn't there on Saturday, but I was there Friday and Sunday. And as far as the celebrities, I didn't see anybody lining up to get signed.
But they were there.
They were, yeah. So they had a ton of celebrities there. I saw people lining up for like Snyder and Capullo,
Yeah.
and a couple of
That's like the dream team now.
right. And there were some other artists people were lined up for that I didn't even recognize their names. I looked at their art when I walked by. I'm like, oh, it's really good stuff.
I'd cut you off real quick, but I tried to get in touch with Frank Cho on Sunday. I couldn't cross paths with him, but they got in contact with him Saturday, Adam and Dante. And when they walked up to him, we were like, yeah, we're with Nerd Rage. He was like, oh, yeah, Nerd Rage. Like he knew who Nerd Rage was.
Was he? Do you think he was just saying that?
No, well, I don't think so because I think the Nerd Rage Instagram follows him and is pretty supportive of his stuff.
Yeah.
And then when that shit went down with Spider Woman, we wrote him an email just telling him how we thought it was bullshit and we were in total support of him.
Yeah.
And if there was anything that we could do to help, let us know. So I'm hoping that all of those things have.
At least he recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Luke Cage got a lot of traction.
Okay.
And Frank got a hell of a lot of. I mean, he was the main attraction of that show, but he canceled Sunday.
Oh, Frank Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did see that.
for unbeknown reasons. They
Too,
said
maybe it's just too much.
It
I'm
may-
guessing
maybe
it's
he's
too
getting up
much.
there. So
Yeah.
Will Wheaton was there. Will, and I asked my
He's kinda everywhere.
I asked my wife. I said, "Hey, Will Wheaton's here." She's like, "Who's Will Wheaton?" I said, and I did the voice. She's like, "Yeah, but who the hell is that guy?" I said, "He was the kid in Star Trek Next." Oh, that guy. I said, "Yeah," and he's on some. I think
He's on a lot of nerd
Big
stuff
Bang
now.
Yeah, he does a lot of nerd stuff, and I'm trying. There was I don't know. I just saw a lot of people sitting there twiddling their thumbs. You know, they keep them so far away, and you know.
There was these guys that came by and interviewed one of the guys, the big black dude across from me, and they were like in suits and shit, and like had professional cameras and all this, and I was like, damn, like what is this guy up to, you know? So I ended up, chopping it up with him a little bit, and he was very fucking cool. And they had like every time, because like it's hard, like he's selling his novel, you know, like he had like 3 volumes of it, like that was
Actual,
all that
like,
was
book.
Yeah, and he's just there at an artist alley table trying to sell his novel, you know? So like that's hard fucking work. It's a hard sell. And, he got down to like 3 or 4 of volume 1 left. And I think 3 or 4 of volume 2 left. And like we were like, you're going to sell out of volume 1 today. And like every time he sold one, like we would all start cheering and applauding for, cause it's like, like that's a hustle.
Yeah, man.
But I was talking to him, he's like, the fucking mayor's office interviewed me. And I was like, really?
Is he local?
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, that the suit shit? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I was wondering what was up with that. And he's like, yeah, it was the fucking mayor's office. And I was like, why did they want to interview you? And he was like, election year, black man, creative entrepreneur. And I was like, and he was like, but I'm going to take it. And I said, as you very well should.
Absolutely.
But he was cool as fuck. And that's about it. I think we can get into news, but I'm going to save it and I'm going to try to organize some of this news because I'm sure Phil has dumped the world in there over the past week and I haven't had a chance to check it. All right, before we get into news, we're having this Hot Toys discussion behind the scenes and it's starting to get intense. So I wanted to make sure we caught some of it. So
he's getting out of.
He's getting out. Pinkerton is getting out of the DC Hot Toys game because he's had his fragile little mind warped by Marvel.
That is not true.
Or that the
It's-
DCEU is falling apart.
Marvel the best
No,
now.
it's not. It's the DCEU.
It's falling. It's not as cohesive anymore. It's like it's not a line.
But that
it's just a bunch of random
but that
figures.
doesn't- I agree, but it doesn't make like he loved that BVS setup, right? It doesn't make that any less great. It doesn't tarnish how great that is.
It makes it so that it won't get any better.
Agreed.
The growth potential is different now.
So you have 3 Hot Toys left. Which 3 you have for DC?
For DC, so I have the Purple Coat Joker, I have the Asylum Joker, and I have Deadshot. And then I also have 2 statues, 6 scale statues that I'll probably never get rid of. I have Killer Croc and Boomerang, which they look great. They look great with those.
Yeah. They
I don't
fit
think they're
well
sought after, right?
They're really not. I mean, I got them both for a steal.
from that.
I got one in Baltimore and the other one I
never-
got.
I don't even want to put it out there because, like, that's one of the best kept secrets of Baltimore Comic Con, and I don't even want to reveal how it
I
happens.
don't think,
And
they,
it's,
I don't
and
think
it's,
they were there this year.
I looked for them as well and couldn't find them,
don't
but
think they were
I
there.
think it's also super illegal. But anyway,
It's the 2 Jokers you don't have. I thought Pinkerton was trying to sell them to you by saying that.
yes, and I don't think that he's opposed to selling them to me.
I'm
mind
not.
you. And the Deadshot, I might take him up on at some point, depending on his circumstances. But then we got into this discussion because the Joker that I have is the one in the tux,
Yep.
in the Jared Leto one, and he said that that's his least favorite.
Yeah, and I don't like that character.
And you don't like that character, which is fine. I'm not crazy about that character, but I need to see more before I say I don't like it because there are parts of it that I do like. I like.
How much more are you going to see?
I don't
That's
know.
That's
I
another
love
question.
that Joker.
Really?
It may be just the way
Love that Joker.
Love that Joker.
I mean, a lot of people do. It's really split. Not everyone hates him, you know?
I would like that one a lot better if he had the face where he's shooting the machine gun in the back of the helicopter and he's just like,
Yeah.
because he's just, I don't know, it's just so deadpan serious there.
Yeah, but so this is what it brings me to. So I'm not a big fan of like the boxer shorts, like the boxing shorts look. The Asylum one I think is cool, and I'd be more likely to get that one if they did a Harley to match it, like professional Harley, you know?
Oh, and they did the prisoner Harley.
Exactly. But
Sipping her tea.
yes,
or her
which is
cappuccino,
cool.
whatever.
Which is cool. But if they did the other one, I would have been more likely to get it. But the reason why I like that one is because to me, it's most comic book reminiscent. It reminds me of the Alex Ross kind of famous painting where he's holding Harley in that dance or whatever.
Yeah, like
yeah,
they
yeah.
did that one scene in the movie.
Exactly,
The little-
exactly.
Her I guess it was like her fantasy or whatever.
Yep. So, but I agree with you that it's not the most recognizable nor iconic representation of him from those films. But to me, it's the same thing like I'm doing with this Iron Man, where the Iron Man that I'm getting is not the most iconic Iron Man from the movies, but it's the one that is the most iconic to my representation of him from the comics, which is what
okay.
ends up meaning the most to me.
I guess I could understand that, but I mean, the Iron Man. I think I've got Mark V, and then I really took a long time deciding which one I wanted.
Yeah, it's not an easy choice.
And that's the one that to me, I mean, they all obviously are Iron Man, but that's the one that's like, okay, that's Iron Man.
Yeah, we had this discussion last week where, like, when you were like, "Oh, that's the iconic Iron Man," I'm like, "Well, to you, I guess, but there's
Yeah.
so many
That's
iconic. Like, you have to pick
and
your
I-
personal favorite."
And
right?
I can admit that I was wrong in saying that I should have said, to me, the most, when I think of Iron Man in my head,
Yeah.
it's red and gold in that pattern.
Right. And yeah, I guess that depends on what genre, when you started reading comics or when you were into certain character, that probably solidifies. Just like Batman has so many different variations.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like the leotard look, some people like the armored look. I like the armored look even though it's newer.
So like the one from the video games that came out recently.
Yes,
a lot of
exactly.
people love that set,
Yeah.
which that's awesome. By the way, speaking of hot toys, just so everybody knows, Bobby at one point in time came to my house and posed on my hot toys.
Yes.
That Luke Skywalker pose is trash.
It is. It's 100% trash.
Okay,
Let me,
just making sure you know.
No, it's 100% trash. I 100% agree.
He looks like he's getting ready for a dance off.
Yes. So I had him in a different pose, and it worked when I had him in the other room, but when I got him in here, it didn't work. So what I need to do is I need to swap out some hands. So I put him in a fucked up pose to motivate me to actually go to the
I
work
get-
to do
that's
it.
a good idea.
Dig out with the box and then switch
Yeah,
out the hand.
exactly.
Yeah, I know that's fucking pain in the ass.
But I agree, it's trash. There's a lot of people, I hear from a lot of people constantly asking for a Hot Toys podcast from the Cool Table. Like, I hear it regularly, at least once a month.
How many Hot Toys collector other than you two? Are the other?
Well, I think,
It's a lot, and it's spread a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot more people, I'd say, now than there was 2 years ago.
and even people that are saying, like, I'm not going to collect Hot Toys, but I'm going to have one. Because I'm a collector and I want to experience.
I mean,
one.
as in the Cool Table Network, do we have a lot of Hot Toys collector to like get together and talk about other than you two?
him, myself, and Tyler, and it looked
And,
like for a
well,
minute that was going to be a possibility.
And
but
Energon Addict.
That's true.
Dom has a ton.
That's
now.
true
I mean,
also.
And those guys have all come on board. I mean, and honestly, I would like to just see an action figure podcast because we don't have a place that talks about we do on Enter the Realm.
Yeah,
which
that's what
we dip a toe in, but we don't talk about Star Wars Black Series figures. We don't talk about Marvel Legends. We don't talk about Reveltech.
Well,
And
we're
I'd
talking.
be up for it.
We were talking about getting together and just talking about
Toys.
toys and stuff. Like,
just roll it in.
yeah, you can just roll it because it'll be an open forum for any toy. It
Yeah.
can be action figures one week, it can be Hot
That's
Toys
not a
one
bad
week.
idea.
It
Maybe
can
we-
be statues one week.
And the three of us could do it. The problem with me, I complicate podcast schedules because I can't do evenings or weekends.
I can't do weekends.
generally.
And daytime is not a commodity I normally have. Today it worked out.
So if we did it, I think if we try to do it once a month,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a weekly thing.
Fourth Thursdays,
you know,
4 a.m.
Or does it even have to have a schedule? I mean,
No,
like fucking
no.
Beer Bolter had one episode last year.
yeah. Well, we had one this year. That was really fucking
Oh
good.
I
It
enjoyed
was
that one
really
a lot.
fucking good.
We've been rolling a little bit of it into Nerd Rage lately.
Yeah, did you ever listen to that episode?
No, I
It's
didn't.
fucking outstanding.
I have not, man. I'm so lost on that.
It's-
Honestly,
It's not
It's,
talking about
it's
40K
not heavy
though.
40K. It
Okay.
ended up becoming a discussion about toxicity and fandoms.
Oh, that's definitely an issue.
And the discourse in it was just very interesting because there was multiple perspectives on it. It was a very good conversation.
I joined a couple 40K groups on Facebook at Adam's suggestion just to look at painting, and those guys are asking questions. It doesn't show up a lot on my feed, but I'm scrolling through and I have no clue. Like when you guys talk about it on here, I'm like, I'm
Lost.
fucking- I
Yeah.
have no idea.
So am I. If that means anything to you.
Yeah. I mean, some people are into it, like because a lot of people cross into 40K for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
A
It's
lot of people
it's
know about
definitely
it.
in the loop.
Yeah, so like when we talk about it, I'm sure some people appreciate it.
Because I had on my Bumblebee or the G1 Bayformer Bonanza video.
Yeah.
Somebody commented on it. Oh no! It was the one I put up yesterday. Somebody commented on it. It was like this tank was actually a basis for the Land Raider
Yes,
when I was
that's a
working
real
at-
life tank.
You know, but he obviously worked at Games Workshop, but he's into Transformers, and but it's like it's in the loop. It's just on the outer fringes. I think.
That reminds me of something real quick. So Mason is taking. We made him join a club at school, just to join a club, and so he joined the Strategic Gaming Club.
Nice.
So right now they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. But
Nice.
They want to do 40K, but they need somebody to give
too much money.
They're looking to see if anybody would donate them
Some pieces.
some models to play.
Well, if
Expensive.
I
don't
know it's
about
super
that.
expensive. Yeah. I
if
know
he
that.
tells me what he needs to play a small game, he can package up
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know enough, and he doesn't either.
He'd have
I
to
think
talk to
that-
Adam or
yeah,
Joe.
I think there's a couple other kids in the class or group, whatever.
The,
So that was interesting.
but I'd be down to do a irregular collector podcast.
I think you just named it the Irregular Collector Podcast.
Write it down.
Write it down. Seriously, write it down.
And I think that we should. I think that we should try to do it at least once a month. That should be the goal, and then also try to take advantage of any special opportunity.
Like
NYCC coming up?
Or or this weekend,
Okay.
What's this weekend?
because
This weekend
Dave is gonna be in town, and
Well, the best way we can record at my place would probably be, I don't know.
we can sort out
It's
logistics.
gonna be a working weekend. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, no. And I'm down to work, but I'm not all work and no play.
Right.
I got you.
I'm mostly work and then we play. So yeah, that sounds good. I mean,
Give us feedback if you guys are interested in hearing
Yeah.
a Randoms Toys podcast
Yeah.
that covers many subjects. Let us know what you want to hear and if you want to hear it at all.
and I think that we should even like if there's news, if there's something big like one of those
About to drop,
cons,
yeah.
to cover that. But for the most part, just talk about the lines and talk about what we're digging and what we're not digging, let the conversation just kind of flow freely, but keep it away from Transformers because there's so many podcasts on our network that do Transformers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Does that make sense?
there's so many. I mean, you don't even have enough to talk about on your Transformers podcast anymore.
It's a fact.
We can
Well,
do,
on our third party Transformers podcast.
yeah, I mean, we can bring in. I can bring in stuff for show and tell. Like we can look at
Yeah,
some
we
of my
can do
stuff
that.
while we talk about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a very different collection than Bobby, and I've got a different collection than Bobby. I mean, I collect a lot of stuff. He doesn't. necessarily
Like I
get
was
into.
serious about dropping by with my quarter scale statues and stuff here, and before
it
I
just
take
makes-
them home.
It just makes me very, very nervous. But I mean, I'm not against it. But
I'm not against it.
I would.
And I think-
It would be one of these things where I'd be like, "Look, I'm going to make sure that the aisleways in the hall are all clear. I am going to stand at the front door. You tell me when it's in position at the basement, and then I'll join. Actually, call me. I don't even want you to yell and have the reverberations of your voice to hit the statue. Just call me and tell me when it's ready, and then I'll come downstairs."
I mean, they're really sturdy once they put together. It's really the putting them together.
Irregular Collector
Nice.
podcast, and there's our horrible logo. I just made it.
That looks like a T-shirt to me.
Hey, yeah,
Pre-orders are going to be up this
that's right.
weekend.
They're $45 shipped.
And they're all one of a kind.
That's right. Limited edition.
No reproductions.
Dude, Dante's fucking Nerd Rage shirt.
That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, dude, it's so perfect. And he got a ton of traction on it.
Yeah.
Because it's a conversation piece.
Yep.
Like we were talking a bit on this, that my brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I think my brain in terms of marketing and branding and those, I think that Chris and I are kind of in alignment. Like we usually see things generally the same way. But when it comes to stuff like that approach, he was talking about how his wife was like, "You can't wear that. It's supposed to be a professional thing. Like you're going to look like a dickhead," and that would have been my exact feedback to him had he
Right.
said it. But when he showed up with it, I mean, I think he probably got more people coming up and asking about it because it's so fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean?
And also, it's a personality thing. He could rock it because he has
Yeah.
the personality
yeah,
for it. Yeah.
yeah, and he doesn't care what you think of him, and
He'll slap you.
he'll slap the shit out of you.
And he wants to. And I think Dante was probably high on Sharpies. 'Cause he said, I didn't want to call him out on that the other night, Dante, but you were probably gone on some Sharpies.
All right, let me save this. All right, so the first thing I have on here is this BBTS sales tax thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I guess something has changed in the climate politically, I'm imagining, which is now
Because of
BBTS.
import and stuff.
Now, yeah, and now BBTS has to charge sales tax.
On
to-
some states.
Yes, but I would imagine that's just some of more to come, would be my.
Amazon did that recently. I mean,
Right.
Amazon didn't charge tax for a long time, and then all of a sudden they charge tax.
I'm guessing it's out of their hands.
Well, you think the states are making them charge tax?
Yes.
I thought the thing was buying stuff on the internet and with no taxes that, you don't know where it's coming from.
Or it might be the state that they're based out
That's
of.
what I'm saying. Like, cause if you bought stuff from the internet, from Maryland, you have to pay taxes. It's always, I've
That
always
wouldn't make any sense because then why wouldn't they charge me?
what do you mean?
Like if it was a mandate under, I think they're out of Wisconsin. I can't remember where.
No,
BTS
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're buying something from the internet,
That was a
from,
lot of no's very quickly.
from the same state you're in, like if you're in Wisconsin, I think if you buy stuff from them, you have to pay taxes. Because in the same
okay.
state. So now I'm wondering maybe if you have distribution centers in a state, then you have to pay taxes. I'm thinking that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because they're state taxes, not federal taxes that you're paying. So
Right.
if you're buying stuff from another state, you don't pay taxes for that.
Right, but I mean, why would it hit these handful of states and not?
That's why I'm wondering if they have distribution centers there.
Okay, I got
Like
you.
if they don't ship everything out of
I
Wisconsin?
can't imagine that fucking BBTS has that many distribution
Because
centers.
Amazon, it makes sense for Amazon because they have distribution centers.
100%, 100%.
So I don't know, BBS is, I don't know how big they are. I know they're big, but I don't know how
I
big.
think they all operate out of one warehouse.
Okay. That's a lot of stuff in one warehouse though.
Agreed.
Like if you look at the inventory, not just stuff that you're
Yeah,
into.
no. Trust me, I'm
have-
understanding.
Quarter scale, they have third scale statues.
Yeah, they have fucking one scale statues.
Yeah. So one warehouse, you think all that shit, and they do pile loots.
So here's
Sure.
I just found there's a Supreme Court case, 1992, Quill Corporation versus North Dakota. The court ruled that states couldn't require retailers to collect sales taxes unless they had a physical presence in the same place where the buyer is located.
Oh, I'm smart.
You are smart. Joe.
Major online retailers, namely Amazon, more and more fall under that rule by building data centers, warehouses, and other facilities in multiple locations.
Interesting.
Let me see here.
I would have never guessed in a million years that BBTS had that much property.
But
Nationwide.
maybe over time they've had. Maybe like 10 years
Well,
ago they didn't.
I'm sure they didn't start that way, Joe.
No, I'm just saying, like, we've been buying from them so long, like, I guess you don't even think about maybe they've grown.
Right,
How
their
much they might have
expansion.
grown.
Yeah, no, agreed.
States that assess use taxes give their residents a way to report it. So I guess you're supposed to have been reporting these purchases. California, you get a worksheet. New York requires forms for reporting when you file your income tax. In reality, states haven't been particularly stringent about collecting these, and many shoppers don't even know they owe.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, it
few-
also depends on how much you're buying, right? If you're buying like fucking $10 worth of stuff, sometimes.
Right. As a result, a coalition of 24 states has adopted the streamlined sales tax agreement, which allows retailers to voluntarily collect sales taxes. In practice, it's easier for online merchants to add the tax at checkout as opposed to having states pursue residents for levies owed on purchases. Well, my response to the BBTS thing is support the small guys, because there's people out there selling toys that are smaller retailers like Agabus, for
I
example.
thought you were going to say like Crash.
And well, I wasn't gonna. I report my taxes. What are you talking about? I stay to Maryland. But a lot of these smaller, I don't want to name drop everybody out there, but there's a ton of people out there selling toys that aren't BBTS.
Yeah. When I buy XM stuff, I buy from Speculative Operatives. I gave you the link for that
Yeah.
Batman statue, but
I want
they
that
have
shit
really
so
good
bad.
price.
I
And
want
Who is that you buy from?
Spec Op. It's a short
Okay.
.com.
I
I'll
want
send
that
you the.
fucking statue so goddamn bad.
I know.
Joseph.
I was contemplating not sending you that link because I'm like, this is going to cause him
one is it?
fucking sadness.
Holy shit! I'll pull it up for you.
I'm like, this is
so-
going to make him sad, but let me show it to him.
I also I had an idea, Joe. I want to run past you.
Uh-oh.
All right, you ready? Okay, so I figure out from Ace, because he says he has a server in his house where he operates all of his music, movies, media, etc. off one server in his
Yeah.
home. So I find out from Ace how he does that, and then I pull out all my DVDs and CDs and put them in a book or something, or a few books, and file them away somewhere. Get rid of the cases, get rid of all that. Cabinets in the back for quarter scale.
Yeah.
See, I knew you'd be on board.
100%.
Joe, I can
100%.
always count on
This
you
is
to be
such
on
an-
board.
He told me this the other day, and that's just such an odd turn of events that has to happen.
I mean, dude, this had to
think
happen
it's
2
funny.
year ago. I could have told you that shit.
Well, yeah, I've
All
been making fun of you for years.
Paths end at quarter scale.
I don't know if I'm going to be
I
able
mean,
to find it
I
or
just got
not.
there faster.
Yeah, you did get there pretty quick. And
When I picked up started getting 6 scale, somebody messaged Lotus Stark. I don't know if he listens or not.
oh, he's the man.
Okay, Lotus said, Escalation's going to get you. You'll be buying quarter and half scale stuff before you know it. I haven't yet.
Third scale. Like we had this discussion whether third scale is too big.
I can't find a picture of that fucking statue, Joe.
XM Studios.
Okay.
This XM Studios Batman.
XM.
I mean, they're gonna have a lot of different Batman statues, but it's pretty specific. But I mean, the math didn't make sense to me when I was like looking at my pile of loot from different stores. I'm like, I could have 6 of these cool figures or one fucking awesome statue,
Right.
And space wise, I'm like, it does take a lot of fucking space,
Yeah.
right? Right. You have to maybe have to link this to the show and the show.
Have they put out the colored version yet? Or is this
not yet.
the
Not
prototype?
yet. And it's like they're only
What's the
making
change on it?
150 of them.
Why the fuck have you not ordered that yet?
I know.
I sent you the link of where you can pre-order from the guy I buy,
And
and that's the
it's-
best
I
price.
know.
That's 6 scale?
Yeah.
How big's the base on
It's
it?
fucking gonna be
Oh, it's
huge.
gonna be huge.
But like this guy that sells stuff, like especially if you pay like up front, you get a huge discount. You won't find it in any big stores any cheaper.
I remember you talking about him before. Is that where you got like your
my
the
darkness, my Magdalena, my Witchblade, all from this guy.
There's so many Easter eggs in this. Like the fact that Selena is looking up at him. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Joker has one hand on him. Like he's the only one really touching him. You know, like
They
there's
work with the
so
artist, Batman artist to
much
design this.
involved in it.
And the funny thing I was saying is like that Batman's the least interesting
Don't do that.
piece. No,
do
in,
that.
in this
Oh,
fucking
okay,
in this
okay.
in this particular diorama, all the other characters are a lot more interesting than he is. So he's the central figure.
I was getting ready to pull your mic plug.
Would you not agree though?
No, well,
Like
he's
pose wise and
pose
costume
wise,
wise,
pose wise,
He's the anchor.
yes.
He's the anchor for the piece.
Right.
But other than that, I think
like everyone else
Yeah.
is just like I
Yeah.
want to look at what they are about.
Looks amazing.
just so much to look at. I think it is an amazing piece.
You should get it.
Right.
Don't tell Laura I told you. Otherwise, my dream will come true where she says I'm not welcome in your house anymore.
Dude, I had a weird dream the other night, but it's definitely Patreon. So this other one is the return of Toys R Us. Have you read anything about this?
Yeah, I read
Can
about
you educate me on this? Because it didn't seem like to me from the brief reading I did of it that it was saying what they made it seem like it was saying.
So this is all it is to it.
Okay.
So Toys R Us has been owned by in some investment firms, and people will argue with me, but I think that's what ruined the.
No, I think you're right. From what I've read,
Investment
it seems the case.
They have decided that the IP is worth keeping.
The name.
That is all this is.
I mean, it makes sense. Toys R Us is
They're
a
not.
huge name.
They're not going to sell the intellectual property like they were planning on doing.
Interesting.
That is all it is.
Oh, like the giraffe in the logo, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was someone not too terribly long ago that said they were going to resurrect KB Toys, and it was some guy he buys these obscure brands and the copyrights or the trademarks up and tries to run with it. And I don't know. I just can't imagine somebody at this point saying, "Hey, here's I don't know how big are those Toys R Us buildings? Hundreds of thousands of
Right,
square feet.
right.
Let's
Walmart size.
Yeah, let's put toy. I could see them coming back in like a mall store maybe. Of course, the rent there's ridiculous too.
Yeah.
Or maybe even an online
store,
an
yeah.
online presence.
It's like
man.
the Toys R Us online store.
Yeah, I mean, and they could maybe carry a more diversified, adult.
Is their website down?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
But like, I mean, I don't know. I stopped shopping at Toys R Us a long time ago. If you shop online at all, there's just no reason to go to Toys R Us.
You're right.
I mean, people like the hunt. I agree.
Yeah.
But like,
there's something
finding
there's
what you
something
want,
extremely satifying about finding something.
finding what you
Okay,
want,
so the website's still up,
Yeah, but it's a landing page of thanks to everybody.
right?
and the price. Their fucking their
were-
shit is more priced or more expensive than the shit at Target at exact same shit. When I
they-
was buying Transformers,
They were 10% higher on Marvel Legends. So example, $22 for a $20 figure, and then at Walmart's got it for $18.97,
Yeah.
$17.97, and Target's somewhere in that range
yeah,
too.
that's why they died.
Did you hear about the Canadian deal with Marvel Legends at Toys R Us? They have
No.
They have a collector's punch card club kind of sort of thing.
No,
Yeah, you buy. I think it's you buy so many, you get a discount on the 10th figure or some jazz like that. Because they're still open.
but yeah. So I don't know too much about that, but that's it sounds like nothing. It sounds like-
You're exactly right.
there was an image of the Boys live action show
Yeah.
that hit. Did you see that?
With the cover,
What's fucking cool So let me say this. I always thought this was going to be one of those. It's coming to TV.
Yeah, we're talking about this on the ride.
I know you have to fill me in. What is The Boy?
It's a comic.
It's a comic. I'll tell you about it here in a second. But that's the photo released. Now, let me see if I get.
Is that Andy Serkis? No, it's not. It looks like Andy.
It's called Urban though.
And that's the comic.
Oh, it's Garth Ennis. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I always thought it was going to be one of those. It's coming to TV. Like,
Damn titties.
It's a very adult book. Like Why the Last Man is supposed to have been coming to TV forever.
Wow.
Straight
Straight
up.
a very adult book.
Yeah, and it's
Almost hentai.
it's basically like a tearing apart superheroes kind of theme to it, especially American superheroes, which sometimes I get a little sensitive about, being as though Garth Ennis is British, but I try to get over it. Like, if you're from here, it's just like anything else. Like, if you're a part of the cool table and you criticize the cool table, like, for things that we're doing or not doing, I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. I want to, but if you're, like, outside and you're going to fucking criticize it, then I'm like, what the fuck do you know about it?
Is that like Bono talking about American politics?
Exactly.
Dude, My Hero Academia, All Might is American, and like he has the most epic moments. Like, so it's like a love note to American comics. Really, that it's an anime, Japanese anime about Western style superheroes. Really,
Maybe I should watch that one, Joe. Why didn't that be on the fucking list?
You don't like anime, bro. I'm not gonna put you through that shit. Dude, the most epic moment happens for me at episode 50.
Oh my
So
god.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
But that was the episode I was talking about. That was a moment I understood why people love Superman. I never had love for Superman, but now I never understood it till now.
Okay.
I've watched a couple episodes. Mason watches it. Really, I guess it comes out on Hulu on like Saturday mornings or something. I don't know, but he like religiously watches
Yeah,
it as soon as
it's
it drops.
fucking
He's got that the Figma of
Daiku?
yeah, it's like $400.
It's
And
expensive.
he's got like 3 of the pops that are worth
Bakugo, yeah.
about that much too.
And then there was the Spider-Man Universe trailer that we got, or whatever it was, the Miles Morales.
I think it's Edge of Spider-Verse.
Edge of Spider-Verse. Spider-Ham making an appearance.
I don't know.
I don't know
why you're into it. Like, you really surprised me a lot of times with your taste. I'm like, I would be
Yeah,
like,
that did too.
I would be like, that would be something you would hate, I thought.
So, like, I remember him popping up, like, in the What If books in Marvel back in the day. And I remember thinking how bizarre it is. And, like, the fact that he's kind of making the rounds again, like, he seems like a part of the fabric of that universe to me. I think if I just got introduced to it now, I'd be like, this is
That's
horse
too
shit.
rough.
Yeah.
Like, cause, remember when the Legends were coming out, you're like, I gotta get the Spider-Ham. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know
Put
why. It seems right.
Because he's light enough. You can put a little blue tacks on his feet and stick him upside down on your roof.
Yeah, Spider Pig. Yeah, Spider Pig.
One sec, back to My Hero Academia real quick. Season 4 just got announced.
Oh,
Most animes end in 2 seasons. What if it hits season 4, it usually means it's gonna be an ongoing for good. Like Dragon Ball Z 9, 10, still
Right.
going now, and like One Piece and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll keep going.
One Punch Man. Are we getting season 2 soon?
We're getting season 2. Yeah, we are getting
I
season 2.
picked
2
up
weeks.
a side of my figure the other day.
Oh yeah. That's a new thing. That's what I heard. About in about 2 weeks, it'll drop.
But I'm excited about this Spider-Man
This
movie.
looks fucking
I'm
great.
actually more excited about this than I was for Homecoming.
But you liked Homecoming.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, this is.
but I wasn't really
This is
excited.
also
for
something
Homecoming.
really different.
Yeah, and I think it's just that, like,
It's refreshing.
it's refreshing in the options that a animated film can provide that's not tied to this larger piece that has to kind of stay within these confines. It interests me.
Was there an Asian Spider-Man in there? I didn't see.
I don't know, but that's one of the best moments of fucking Spider-Verse. Is when he's like, "Oh shit, am I the racist Spider-Man?" So yeah, and then we have the next thing was the trailer for Dark Phoenix.
I haven't
You haven't seen
bothered
it?
to watch it.
I watched it.
Well, let's watch it real quick, Joe.
Okay.
So, thoughts, comments, courtesies, concerns.
Trailer's good.
Tone is good.
Tone's good. The
Tone was good for Apocalypse also. I'm just going to put that out there.
That's why I was going to say is like, man, Apocalypse really ruined me for this universe.
I know.
Like,
I didn't
because-
hate it. I didn't hate it.
God bless you.
The first 2 was so good that it was
The second one
huge
especially.
that was such a huge letdown that like the drop was so far from me that was shocking, and like now I'm just like out of it.
I think that X-Men movies are the closest thing I feel in the comic book world to how I feel about the Transformer movies.
Really?
Yeah, just a slap in the face to the spirit of them.
But First Class and Days of Future Past wasn't. That was the beauty of them for
So,
me anyway.
X-Men 2, I feel X-Men 2, First Class, and Days of Future Past are the only ones that feel right to me.
Right.
My question is, did you care for like the original stuff that
The
came out in
original-
the early 2000s?
The original 3, I like the second one.
Yeah.
The third one is
Third one
gutter
is pretty
trash.
bad,
I
yeah.
like that it helped us jumpstart the superhero movie genre.
It did.
It did.
I mean, we had
did.
superheroes before that, movies before that, but that
It was epic. No
Yeah.
epic movies.
exactly. And also, like, we didn't think it can be done. Technology was just getting good enough to where
Right.
we can see all the special effects.
Exactly. We know that, and then the Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, right
Right.
around the same time. So, I think I guess the back end of some of this Disney deal, I was surprised there wasn't a Disney logo involved in that production, but I
don't-
guess it was completely done by the time they.
I don't know how all that shit is going to shake out quite yet.
Yeah.
That Disney stuff. Like, because there's talks now the Gambit movie back up and running.
Yeah, that this has
know,
been a
and-
running
and-
joke
and
on
that's
this
been-
show since I've joined the show
That's
3
been
years
like
ago.
a basketball or an NBA game. It's been up and down how many times?
It's gonna be a rom com now.
And then the New Mutants is still supposed
Fun
to
romp.
come. You know, so like I don't know, but I just feel like they are going. The most important part of the Dark Phoenix saga, which is the monumental X-Men story, is Jean and how Jean handles it.
I
and
do not like the actress that plays Jean.
That's
We
why I
just had
said
that
she's
discussion.
a good actress, but she doesn't look like. No, I don't know. She doesn't feel like Jean to me.
I think that's because she's young.
Maybe.
You know, this whole the way they did the X-Men going back in time, and I know they tied them in somewhat, but like I'll give you an example. My wife watched that trailer and she's like, "Wait a minute." She was very confused about when it was and who are these people and why is that person different. So to the casual normie, I suppose, this is probably very fucking confusing. If the last time they saw an X-Men movie was Wolverine and Professor X from Star
Logan.
Trek, yeah, I mean. I don't know. It's been very confusing.
I feel like the normies actually are less confused than we are because they have, they have less
Yeah.
attachment
that's a
and they
valid
don't
point.
care as much.
True. I
Like
guess
this
you're probably
happened,
right.
then this happened, then that happened. That's all that really matters to them.
So
as
is-
far as people I've talked to,
Is this the last time you guys want to see these actors portraying these roles?
Yes.
I was just gonna say the beauty of this is just the two people. We can watch Professor X and Magneto get old in these movies if they keep going.
And
we can get to
I
the
think
old man
that would be
Magneto
cool.
and
Well, most of them I don't have an issue with. Like I think that everybody that's done Xavier has done a good job.
all two of them.
Okay, take it easy. Both of Magneto,
No, actually, the animated voice actor was fine.
Probably
Both-
my least favorite. It's a bit much.
both of the Magnetos have been perfect.
Yes.
I don't like old Storm, but this new Storm
like
seems
Halle Berry?
fine. I like Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
I just don't like
Made a
her as
song
Storm.
Her personality doesn't seem right.
I didn't like old Jean, but I do like new Jean.
You didn't like Famke Janssen? in
She's
that
she pushed my buttons, man.
But no, so being that she's an attractive woman is different than what I'm saying though.
Right.
She never felt like Jean to me. I think I was okay with both Scotts.
I thought she was okay. Actually, I don't know.
I was
didn't-
okay with Rogue. I was okay with
Really?
no. Let me.
I was okay with Jean and Rogue.
in Days of Future Past.
We can. It's getting confused now.
Right. I wasn't okay with Gambit. I wasn't okay. I know I'm in the minority, but I'm not okay with Wolverine.
He's like 2 foot too tall.
Yeah, but they can shoot him in.
And he's
They never have. He's always a tall dude.
and he's too clean. Like I just want
Like-
a dirty white trash, scrappy, short Wolverine.
Dude,
That's what I want.
that's part of the beauty of the fucking Wolverine series I'm listening to. They're like, this short, like 5'3", 5'4" guy who's just as wide as he's tall and hairy and
Exactly.
dirty. He was naked skinning a deer in his fucking cabin. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Wolverine.
Yeah. Like I want to be like a little animal. You know?
Little fucking tough animal.
Yeah. Beast has been fine in both.
I don't
Kelsey
think
Grammer?
I cared for Frasier as Beast,
Really?
It didn't bother me.
He was okay as the professor, the doctor, the smart fucking beast man.
Angel's wrong in both.
Yeah, the Angel has been bad to me.
Take these broken wings.
Mr. The band's so nice they named him twice. Who else?
Psylocke was a no for me.
Yep, Psylocke's been wrong in both
See,
iterations.
I wanted Olivia Munn.
I think
be good.
we all did.
And
It wasn't.
She pushes some buttons for me, and that was
Of
just
course.
like,
I don't know if there's a script, the directing,
she's
or
a-
what.
she
I've seen her act well before.
yeah, like
Wasn't
she was
good
in,
there.
She was in something recently, and it bombed too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
The first Nightcrawler was great.
Oh, Alan Cummings.
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Check you out.
That was.
I didn't
great.
mind. I didn't mind the second one. I didn't mind it. It wasn't great.
I don't even remember him
I was a kid.
because he was in Apocalypse, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bamped him out of the room.
yeah, and he got Angel out of there too, and yeah, but
A lot of Bamfin.
a lot of Banffin.
White Queen.
Don't like either.
Did a child
Both
one,
are
or
both are wrong.
she didn't have the presence.
Jubilee looked fine, but she didn't do anything in the second
So
one.
perfect, just like Jubilee.
Yeah,
But the relationship between Jubilee and Wolverine is important. I feel.
Right, they pushed that on Wolverine and Rogue instead.
Yeah,
that
stupid.
was fucking.
There's just so much like inherently wrong with that universe.
Are these costumes the same as the costume in Deadpool?
No,
Because that ties
no,
together.
they're
The yellow
the
X?
same
No,
as
they're
First Class.
Are
and
they?
no, they're different.
They're different.
They're different. All
They
the
look
way
like
around.
it to me with the X's, the blue and yellow suit with the
I'm
X's.
pretty sure they're different. Maybe at the very end.
When they were walking on the street, that's what it looked like to me. But I could be wrong.
I thought they looked like Sonic Teenage Warheads.
Now hers is black and yellow. These
Yeah,
are
this
black
is
and
definitely
yellow.
blue.
These are blue and yellow.
I like the Colossus in Deadpool.
Okay, now the Deadpool movie is different. I love Deadpool
I wanted them to tie together. That's
and I
why.
love Colossus.
Yeah, that Colossus is fucking great for me.
But Deadpool you can cut and paste anywhere, it still works because of his knowledge of the world he's in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I want to talk about Colossus to see if it's the same. It's supposed to be the same universe, and it was in the same mansion when they.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that little Easter egg in.
Yeah, with the
they're in the
when they're
room,
closing the
yeah.
door. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's ever the same mansion, honestly. Like, I'm not sure if they always shoot in the same place. It seems like it switches around.
But yeah, and interesting. So you think they're gonna bring the Phoenix Force into play, or it's just gonna be a mutant power thing? That's another question for me.
I'm guessing it's the Phoenix Force.
Because if it's a Phoenix Force, then they could tie it with a greater Marvel universe.
Yeah,
Because
but
it's
I don't want
cosmic.
them. Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
Just don't
Don't
do
touch it.
that.
Don't
Just
touch it.
yeah, don't touch it. Don't touch it. They are, dude. They're gonna fuck Jean up. They're gonna fuck Jean up. Jean needs
Character.
special care in telling this story.
I
And
mean,
they
it
will
looks
fuck
like
her
it's
up.
centralized around her. At least.
I think it's centralized around her as well. And without Wolverine, it's going to be easier to centralize her.
No Hellfire Club.
Yep. No.
Well, we had
Hellfire
Hellfire Club already.
and Jean has to sacrifice herself for everybody. Like it has, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, let's move on to Back in Black. We got images of Spider-Man from Spider-Man: Homecoming, seemingly wearing the noir suit.
You see the black suit. It's
The
fine.
noir suit,
That's what it looks like to me.
like the trench coat, and
It's not quite the trench coat, but it's like very tactical, and it doesn't look like a black
doesn't-
spider suit.
No.
Let me see if I can't. There you go.
okay.
You know, like it's a stocking cap look. It's tactical gear on his chest.
I want to know where in the chronology this takes place in.
Yeah, I don't know. It says the caption was Spidey's stealth suit up close. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah. So, in real life, when is this movie gonna come out?
I don't even know.
After Avengers 4, right?
Yeah,
It's gotta be.
yeah. I would guess next year if they're filming now.
Because Avengers is done.
Yeah. And another mystery surrounding this movie is Mysterio, or it looks like we got a picture of him as well, but it's just like the cape and some armor. He looks a little. I mean, it's all about how you shoot that.
Mysterio is a fucking wacky looking guy.
All
anyway.
all of Spider-Man's villains are fucking wacky, and they're all named after animals.
Craven works.
Yeah, Craven's one of the cooler ones too. Like Craven's Last Hunt is probably one of the best Spider-Man books ever done. I would imagine. I'm not a Spider-Man expert, but I would imagine that Spider-Man fans feel that way.
Is Craven a dentist in real life?
I don't know.
It's a callback to Cecil the Lion. The dentist guy who liked to go hunt lions, and then he got huge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That joke was very highbrow, Joe. I had to put a lot of pieces together for that one.
He's got the lion head for a fucking vest.
And then the only other thing that we have in Marvel news is they are using James Gunn's script for Guardians.
I did.
So he's getting paid for that?
Yep.
I guess so.
Yeah.
We get paid.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
fucking dumb. It's all fucking dumb.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's all corporate shit. It has to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take him out. He's not going to direct anymore, but we're still going to use the script.
I
It's like,
agree.
what the fuck is the point then?
What I'm sure everybody's happy about that except for me, but that's fine. What
About the script or the directing?
the script?
Because you like the directing, right? You don't like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't like
So they kept the bad part for you.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on this Joaquin Joker? I haven't heard you talk about it. Well, you hate DC now, so
That's not true at all. I don't.
it's like you went to the party and you were like, I'm going to stand with all these people over here. I'm going to be in the popular crowd. I'm going to shed my cape and cowl and my red S, and I'm going to go stand with the fucking children.
If I could answer your question, you snarky bastard. I'm intrigued by it. I definitely want to see what they do with it. I think Joaquin Phoenix is a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
He's done some great stuff over the years. Actually, I watched Gladiator recently.
I like that
He's
movie
great
a
in
lot.
that.
And his portrayal of Johnny Cash, I thought was
Yeah,
on
it's
the money.
perfect.
Signs?
Signs. Well, hey, anytime you can watch a
that-
Shyamalan movie.
There was that movie where he was a rapper or something, and he like lived the role for like a year.
Oh no, yeah. So he said he quit acting.
yeah.
And he was just going to do music. He grew out a big, ridiculous beard.
Yes.
And it was
They're
all
crazy as
all
fuck.
like a movie. There was some other actor that directed it. I don't remember who.
Do you think
somebody
that?
was in on it?
Do you think that Joaquin Phoenix is a better actor as a person or as a forehead?
I never noticed.
That
Never
that
noticed.
You
dude,
will
have
now.
you not seen the forehead?
No, I haven't.
This is
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not-
gonna get this live recording.
you're not online enough. This was a while ago. This was like a year ago, but it's like making his rounds again because he's in the news.
Yeah.
But interesting to have a Joker movie without Batman. Not to say that there's no Batman. There might be a Batman cameo, and then it's just real fucking
Well,
hush hush about it.
apparently, you get Batman's dad in this.
All right.
Just keep watching.
He can emote.
Upside down on his forehead.
That's pretty wild. He's got lips. So I'm waiting on somebody to turn him completely upside down.
Dude, that shit is crazy.
That is
Dude,
wild.
he's double acting, man.
Oh God. Oh, that's good.
Can emote with my forehead. I do think I thought it was. I do think it's interesting.
There's something captivating about it.
Yeah, well, the time frame it's set in.
It's like the 70s we were
set
talking.
in the 70s. It's the funniest thing to me was that some of those first images is like, oh, it's the Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Just the colors and
Like the way he moves and like
then there's that one scene where I guess he's running off the subway with a mask
Yes.
on. We've just seen the tip of the unit here.
Right,
so to
I agree.
speak, so
but like and I think that face paint, that specific face paint is tied specifically to that scene, and because there's other people wearing the face paint as well or masks that
Yeah.
match that face paint.
So do you? And I think you guys talked about this a little bit. Do you think that this ties into any other
No.
I think it's a standalone.
Yeah.
And I think standalones is how DC is going to be successful.
I
From
think they have
cinematic.
to now. Like since the connective universe failed, I don't know. It's better to just have standalone movies at this point,
Yeah.
rather than trying to salvage that shit. And a reboot of a connected universe might be too hard at this point.
Well, I think
confusing.
Well, I think the thing is when they finally threw in the towel, they have Warner Brothers hires monitors to look at eBay listings for Hot Toys. And like just recently in the state of Maryland, like a bunch of Hot Toys DC stuff went up on eBay.
It was all
And they-
Pinkertons.
Oh yeah.
Here's all my stuff.
And then they threw in the towel. Let's get through this Star Wars news real quick because there's not much to talk about, and then we'll go to the Q&A. So,
One more
okay.
question. Fuck. Oh, keep going. I fucking forgot. What's about Joker though?
so first of all, okay,
So, how do you feel about a Joker origin story? Do you want a Joker origin story?
that's a good question. You see, so I always defer to the animated series in terms of origin stories. And they ask him like where he came from or what his past was, and he says, "When it comes to my story, I prefer it to be multiple choice." And like that to me, and then when we see hints of that with, my father was a gambler and a fiend, my wife.
Yeah. Where do you get those scars?
Yeah. Like I love that little tip of the hat, so to speak.
So like having a canonized origin story, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a huge Joker fan, but like as a character, like when Wolverine Origins come out, it was cool. Oh, we finally know about Wolverine's origins, but like it
But then
took
it's
a little
done.
bit away.
You can only put the toothpaste out once. I was going to say it. I shared it in both the chats I'm in with you gentlemen, but just another thing which makes me love Christopher Nolan as a human being. But when he went to the art director, the makeup director, to come up with ideas for Ledger's Joker makeup, he brought him this painting after he saw a few designs, and he said, use this for inspiration. Keep it loose. Don't be afraid to get messy. So he used that for the base to do the Heath Ledger makeup. And then it turns out that picture is by Francis somebody Rudolph. He's like a famous artist or whatever, but it's the fucking painting that Joker wouldn't let Bob destroy in the museum of the 89 Batman.
Oh shit!
That's
Like,
really neat.
That's
I
the
didn't
type
put the-
of shit that I fucking love about that dude. But anyway, that's just a fun fact.
Well, how do you feel about Joker's origin, Pinkerton?
Well, I mean, I know in the comics there's 3 Jokers, right? So
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that either.
Well, we don't know what that means yet. We don't know if that's so. Adam and I talked a bit about this recently, but like, we don't know if that means it's 3 different Jokers, 3 different human Jokers. We don't know if it's a Joker that lived through 3 different phases. We don't know if Adam and I were like kind of theorizing, like let's step outside the box for a minute and just go crazy. And Adam was like, what if it was like almost this force of nature? The Joker is a force of nature that possesses people almost to an extent, and almost like a virus. And then once you get it, you're the Joker, and it's just moved through 3 different people. And then I was saying, like, what if we've never met the real Joker, and all the Jokers that we've seen are just people that Joker has warped their mind, like Joker
Harley?
did with Harley.
right.
Like the
Yeah.
same type of shit, like all that kind of stuff. Like the possibilities of what it could be is very cool to me. Usually,
the standard time travel and alternate universe shit.
yeah, but usually what it ends up being is far less interesting than what it could be, But I think most people assumed it was Golden Age, Silver Age, Modern Age, But I don't know if it's going to be that cut and dry. Because they showed like pictures of 3 Jokers recently, like in artwork, and one seemed like it was modern, one seemed like it was Killing Joke, and one seemed Golden Age or Silver Age, I guess. So like there was no Golden Age Joker. So like I don't know if it's going to be as cut and dry as we thought it was. So this Star Wars news we got to move into real quick. 2 things. We've covered all the breaking news here that Kathy Kennedy was going to be fired. Just every time you turn around, they were going to fire her for something because she's just running that franchise right into the ground. And my kind of point of view on it was, look, if they were going to fire her, they would have already done it. They wouldn't let her be behind episode 9 if they weren't happy with her.
Right.
Because episode 9 is arguably the most important one.
Yeah.
You know. And she just got her contract renewed for 3 more years, which makes me happy because I like all the movies that they put out, but I mean, I love Rogue One, I love The Last Jedi, and I like Solo, and I like Force Awakens. So, generally speaking, it's the most consistent run of Star Wars I've ever experienced. It's 4 films that I like back to back. I've never had that before. I had 3 films that I liked, and then I have 2 films that I can get through, and then 1 that I really enjoy. You know, so I couldn't be happier. I know that it upsets a very
You also enjoy rubbing it
vocal
into people's faces
minority. Yeah, of course, because it's just like
because they're so adamant about it.
yeah, and it's all this fucking fake news bullshit of people saying like, yeah, my insider, dude, you don't have a fucking insider. Like, you don't have anybody with ears in that fucking room. I can look at you in your face and tell that you don't fucking know anybody important, for one, let alone somebody who's going to be in a fucking room with Bob Iger and fucking Kathy Kennedy. I don't exist in that world. I can tell by how fucking tight the buttons are around your neck that you don't fucking know anybody that important, you piece of shit. These fucking people on YouTube. God damn it. YouTube Star Wars is lost.
Yeah.
Like, it's gone.
Like Anakin.
Yeah.
You are lost.
Yeah, you are lost. You know, and I would love to see a lot more people making a lot more positive content about Star Wars on YouTube, and I would like to be one of them. I got to figure out how to find an angle in it. But I'm just happy to see that she's got her job, because so far I've liked what she's done. And the other thing is another conspiracy. So we've covered the Disney conspiracy before, and something just changed, so I'm going to save.
Fuck, that sucks. I hate it.
So, we've covered this conspiracy before, and I'm not a firm believer in it either. But people started going crazy with the Disney conspiracies because, and it wrote like all over the internet, all over Twitter as well, that there was this movement of people making these negative comments about Venom, the Venom movie, which has premiered and is not getting good reviews. But I'm going to try to find. I'm going to try to just so I can say it. Oh shit! I opened up your text and not this dolphin chat. So it says it's a tweet, and it's tweeted by multiple people, and it says, "I am the biggest Marvel fan, but I just watched #Venom, and I don't know what to say. Easily the worst movie this year. I expected so much better, and now I'm just disappointed. Watch #A Star Is Born instead." And it's tweeted out by multiple people.
It's exact same, like word for word.
Yeah, the exact
it's
same.
Like copy paste.
So the Swimming with Dolphins chat and the Twitterverse started saying like, Disney conspiracy, we found it. Anyway, come to find out, it's from Lady Gaga fans that appear to be using fake accounts to spread negative reviews of Venom. This is courtesy of BuzzFeed. The whole thing appears to have kicked off because Venom and Gaga's new movie, A Star Is Born, have the same release date this week. And it's the Gaga fans trying to crash Venom so that A Star Is Born can be successful. You know? It's
But
just,
I don't know how many people are like, oh, well, I guess I'll go see the Stars Born movie instead
of Venom?
Instead, I mean, I think the people that would be excited to go see Venom aren't
gonna go see A Star Is Born regardless.
A remake of a movie that originally starred Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson. Now it's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
I didn't even know this movie was coming.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw a trailer for it. How did I see the trailer? I guess it auto-played on YouTube or something.
Probably.
And I looked it up because I was intrigued by it. Because I like music. It looked like a documentary. I thought it was a documentary, or not a documentary, but like a
Biopic.
Biopic or whatever, biopic. Yeah. And I looked it up, and I'm like, it's a remake of so it's like vaguely based on something, but it's not really about anybody in particular.
So my thing is, in one sense, I agree with you that I don't think anybody was planning on going to see Venom and then would read that and say, no, I'm going to go see this instead.
I mean, or there may be I've known people that's like, on the weekends, what do you go to? We go see 2 or 3 movies every week.
Right.
That's all we do.
So just normies who's looking to go out and it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
So I will say this though, I only know this movie exists because of this tweet.
This little monsters got to you, Bobby.
Yeah. And she is an artist with a
Rabid fan base.
a hive, so to speak.
It's not. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
not the Bay Hive, but it's close.
yeah, like she's one. Beyonce's definitely one. Nicki is one.
Joe Budden.
I don't know if his.
I'm kidding.
No, because he has like a cult following, but I wouldn't say it's a hive. And then M definitely has one. So like it is just interesting, like seeing stuff like this unfold a bit, like where these. I mean, that girl who was supposedly Becky with the good hair,
Yeah.
she is done. Like it's over for her. Because of the hive, you know, and Kill Shot is like, if you ask one of these, this is considered like the most beautiful diss record ever, you know what I mean? Like the but it's because of the hive. Like it controlled the narrative. Even though there's shit in Kill Shot, it's the same shit I went through with Nas, man, where Nas said shit like, you know, Rockefeller died of AIDS and this is the guy you chose to name your company after. And people are like, ooh, and I'm like, but that's not true. It's not true. Does that matter?
Not in this day and age.
So it's the same thing with you know, M called him a mumble rapper. I'm like, are we hearing the same person?
Now he called MGK a mumble rapper.
Yeah, and
Are
Kill
you
Shot.
sure? Oh, I don't know.
And I'm
He's
like,
definitely not a mumble rapper.
No.
But the funny thing about Eminem having a hive is Eminem is like, wait, either he is completely ignorant to the internet or he plays that up. And I think at this point he's playing it up.
Maybe.
Like his Instagram, he takes pictures and it's like half his face with somebody else.
Yeah, because he seems to be in touch. You know, like he had Joyner Lucas on
Yeah,
his album, and like
that's
like an up and coming.
I had recently, actually, my wife found him. Have you heard that song? I think it's "I'm Not Racist" that he put out.
No,
You need to listen to that. And
Okay.
Watch the video; it's phenomenal.
but like he's an up and coming artist. You'd have to have your finger somewhat on the. I only know who he is because my finger's remotely close to the pulse. You'd have to have your finger on the pulse to kind of be at an Eminem level and have this guy on your record. You know, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. But it is interesting to see that sort of stuff unfold.
It's gonna be interesting to see what the box office for both Venom and A Star Is Born.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Venom. I don't have high hopes. Let's talk about that for a second. Out of 10, what is your expectation?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't realize that was coming out like
This weekend.
until Phil sent us the chat about, hey, you guys want to go see this? I honestly have no expectations whatsoever. I'm going in, if it's a 5 and it's a fun romp, I'm happy. I know it's not going to be. I know going in, it's not necessarily tied to any backstory that we're familiar with. So I know it's going to be a unique take on the character.
Cody said it was good,
Cody says everything's good.
but Cody also said The Mummy was good.
That's what I'm saying.
I always bring it up. He always gets
I have
upset. He's going to text me later on and be like, "I said it was fun, man. I didn't say it was."
I've got a long car ride with Cody in a couple weeks, and I'm going to say, tell me the worst movies you've ever seen. It's fine. They're all fine.
I'm looking forward to some biscuits here soon.
Easily entertained, man.
But my expectation is a 6. That's my expectation. A lot of people have been saying that Hardy does a fantastic job. I don't find that hard to believe
That's
in
it's
any
what he
way,
does.
shape, or form. So I think he has I think it's very possible that I could walk out of this movie and say this movie would be good had it been named something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Goop Monster.
Goop Monster.
Do you remember there was some sort
That's
of
what I call my semen.
there was some outer space movie recently, and there was some talk of there was some black goo involved, and you remember hearing about that and somebody saying that maybe it's the symbiote.
Life. It was actually I really
that
enjoyed
it? Was
Life.
that the one?
With Ryan Reynolds? And,
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
That's a.
I saw part of it.
I
Ryan
really-
Reynolds dies like in the first act.
Spoiler.
Oh,
alert.
thanks. I've never seen it.
But no, I really enjoyed that movie. It's just a sci-fi.
I really
monster-
enjoyed Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine is fucking great.
Sunshine was good.
Dude, this shit. I recommend shit in here sometimes. I know I don't get taken seriously, but then you watch that shit like a year fucking later, and you tell me it's just like, yeah, I know. I remember when I said that shit.
Who knows? I may have put it on my mental list then. It's the only reason why I ended up watching it.
Have you watched Moon yet? I watched those two at the same time, Sunshine and Moon, because it was funny. It's like
I want to.
haven't
Is
watched
that
it.
the one with The guy that plays Hammer in the Iron Man movies.
Yes,
I can't think of his
and I
name.
like him. He was in Galaxy Quest. He's
Yeah,
a good,
yeah.
good
He's a
actor.
good
I like him. And the voice is Kevin Spacey, but which is fine now.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a problem. I keep forgetting.
But it's not.
We're getting slim
Well-
on actors.
No, if you haven't watched Moon, watch Moon. If you like Sunshine, that's good.
Crush the pill up and put it in your drink.
What do you think was in all that Jello?
So you watched part of Life. You didn't watch all of it.
Life.
With Ryan Reynolds where he dies.
Yeah,
the Martin
yeah,
Lawrence,
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
Martin Lawrence one.
I definitely watched that one. That one was quite funny.
Y'all got that movie Life.
That was the best. That was Eddie Murphy's last best film.
Yes.
I did not. I lost interest.
Okay.
But I did see Ryan Reynolds kick the bucket, and I remember saying out loud, I was like, either he had a contract to do something else, or they couldn't pay him enough. Let me save this. All right, and then we'll close out on a question or two.
Yeah, I didn't ask for questions this week, so
Yeah,
we only
'cause
got
we
like
still have some.
Yeah, we still got a couple. We always get a policy question. Thanks, policy.
Yeah, Paul C. You're the
I
man.
just got one in the email now, but we're not going to put that on this week. I'll put it on next week's if we can catch up.
All right, so we got one from Joe Spragan. What's up, Joe? I know that name. Joe bought a shirt. That was very kind of him. Hey, nerds. Netflix just announced that they are doing a live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender. We did this one.
Okay, as I said, deleted
Okay.
what I remembered that we talked about.
Okay. Hearing your thoughts on what's going on, especially with the movies. This celebrated my year anniversary. I haven't dated anyone in a child. Oh, wait, but we didn't do all of it.
I think we talked about Avatar, but maybe not the question. That's why I left it on there.
All right, we'll leave this on
Yeah,
because
leave that for Adam.
Yeah.
He's a big Avatar fan.
I mean,
I do too. I watch the
You
entire
watched the whole
series,
first one?
I never watched Korra, but
I watched a few episodes. I couldn't deal with the teen angst.
I love the cartoon.
Yeah,
But we can do this one. He said, this is mostly for Joe. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary with my girlfriend. I haven't dated anyone with a child before, and I got to say her soon-to-be 4-year-old is amazing, and the experience might be the most fulfilling experience of my life. It's a very deep shame you'll never know that kind of love.
I did date a girl for a short while with a 4-year-old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, short while. I mean, I like the girl a lot, but shit didn't work out. The kid was part of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of why it didn't work out?
Yeah, it's like I can't do this.
Was it a trash kid or?
No, she was fine,
Oh.
but I just yeah.
Kevin.
I couldn't see a future. And I was like, I don't want to waste your time.
I got you. Kevin Riddell says, "Hey, Nerd Rage crew, what quotes and or imitations do you guys do around your wife or kids, or for Joe, let's say girlfriend? Also, have you ever dropped a movie quote around a coworker who had no clue and just kept carrying on the conversation? My favorite is saying patience in the Yoda voice to my kids, and I annoy the wife with Bane saying, 'What a lovely, lovely blank,' to whatever new house decoration or crafty thing she gets from Michael's." So I want to steal that from you, by the way, because that is a fucking cool thing to say. So I definitely do driver flyer all over the place,
Yeah.
and I do it around my coworkers, and they have no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
Doesn't matter.
Ever. And I also do dread it, run from it.
To your fucking crying ass
Yeah,
kid.
to my crying kids whenever they don't want to do something.
The one I say that my wife drives my wife nuts. Anytime something like isn't going to work out and we have to figure out another way to do whatever it is, I always use this. It's from Half Baked. I've made bongs with less. It's no reference to me making a bong. It's just, do you remember that scene in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's Stephen Baldwin, and he's under a car, and they're like, "We don't have a pipe." He's like, "Give me a avocado and a toilet paper roll. I've made bongs with less," or just something like that. So I've just always.
That's a good one.
Well, now I use this one too. You're right about one thing, Master. Negotiations want to show. Anytime there's a conversation with somebody that I'm dreading or whatever, and yeah.
What about you, Joe? Do you quit any movie quotes?
It's more anime stuff. Like over 9,000 is very common.
Oh yeah.
Show me what you've got from
Jay-Z.
Rick and Morty.
Oh.
We see that shit a lot. I don't think anything else you guys know. We call a lot of just anime JoJo. Oh, when someone is trash, we're like, oh man, you can't even photosynthesize. It's a reference to Knights of Sidonia, because in the future everyone can photosynthesize. You don't have to eat once a week,
okay.
but there was this one guy who didn't get that gene and he has to eat all the time and they think he smells. So I was like, oh shit, you can't even photosynthesize.
You know, and Adam and I often do, like, if we're out somewhere and one of us wants to buy something, but we're not in a position to buy it, like when we'll try to tempt the person to buy it, we'll like tap said thing and say, "You want this, don't you?" It just usually ends up leading to one of us buying it. But yeah, I mean, I quote Star Wars left and right.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it is no.
And
That's just shit like
do
that.
Do it. It's another one that often gets said.
Go home and be a family man. We'll say that shit when we think someone should, when not doing good and should leave. That's Guile's ending from Street Fighter 2. He goes home to be a family man.
I also often say to like my kids, I'll be like, look, you need to have this organized so that you know where your stuff is when you go to get it, or so that your toys look good on your shelf, like me. I throw that one in there a lot.
I probably quote Office Space more than anyone should.
Yeah, that's a good one to quote. I do that one too.
I did it myself. I'm like, okay.
Anytime anybody's
down now.
Anytime anybody says like, oh, you're missing your show or whatever, I'll say I wouldn't exactly say I've been missing it. But
Yes.
I was in a meeting in Toronto with work, and they couldn't get the projector to work. I said, PC load letter. I didn't finish it, but everybody laughed. They actually got that one.
Another one that I use often is in Beverly Hills Cop, when he's locked up for the first time in Beverly Hills, and there's a fucking payphone in his cell, and they're like, "Axel, you're free on bail," or whatever, and he's like, "But I just ordered a pizza," and he's like, "Somebody eat it." Like, so like I often say that like around the house, like if anything, like I'll be like, anytime my kids don't do something, like they get the fucking milk out and don't put it away, I'll be like, "You left the milk out." Nah, somebody drink it. Like, it's like a thing.
Do you ever, like Office Space, you listening to rap music, you turn it down, roll your windows up, and lock the door when you get to be more?
No.
Back up in your ass with the resurrection.
No, but I will. I am in my older age cognizant of other people like around. So like if I'm like driving and flying in a like residential area, and like some single woman some woman pulls up and her kids are in the back, and I've got some old fucking ignorant shit playing. Like I'll turn it down.
Dipset?
Dipset's in constant rotation around here. I'll turn it down as to not fucking fuck their day up, but I would never. Back in the day, I wouldn't care, but now I do. Great question. And then we have one from Calum. Calum looked out for me recently. He said, "News is a great segment. Good to hear your opinions, but it also helps launch other random conversations, like last week's conversation about what Jon Snow was talking about."
A couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Actually got a question for the crew. As you've gotten older, possibly softer, with what parental behaviors did you unexpectedly develop that came from your parents? We all say we'll never become like our parents, but somehow we do. So curious to see if you all had one specific thing that you caught yourself either saying or doing where you were like, crap, I'm them. For example, my dad used to get on us if any lights were on in the house during the day. Used to bug me as a kid because he was kind of nuts about it. After having kids of my own, I'm always flipping out lights left on during the day and almost understand his insanity. So, much like my mother, I usually have some drinks in the evening.
Friday night showtime? Verbally abusive to your kids?
No, that I'm not doing. But,
you do taunt them.
Yeah, I joke. I fuck with them for sure.
When they're crying.
Yeah. Because that's my thing. I can't stand fucking cry. Like, if you're going to cry because you're emotionally hurt or because you've suffered a severe trauma, I'll allow it. But if it's anything else, I am on your ass.
That sounds like something from your dad.
Yeah. But he didn't even let me have it for those two, But I will be on your ass. Like they like my Jaina knows. Like when she starts losing it, I'm like, oh, we're gonna cry. We're gonna have a little cry, And you can see her like, no, get herself together. I think like I'm funny about the lights too. But I leave lights on all the fucking time. I'm still a kid in that regard. I hate having the door open during the summertime and letting the cold air out. Like that's some shit that my dad, like I'm not cool in the neighborhood. Like my dad used to say that, but if the heat is on and the door is open, it doesn't bother me as much.
Huh.
Yeah. But like if we got the air conditioner cranking and you got that fucking door open, I'm on your ass. Respecting your things. My dad was big on that. I'm big on that. Being polite to adults, And, like good morning and, and if you don't know their name, it's sir or ma'am. Like I'm big on that. My dad was kind of big on that. That's about it. What about you, Chris? Joe, do you do anything to your cats that you're,
I mean, and just in general, personality-wise, some things would be like, I would never be like them. I am like with work.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm like, I'll never fucking work like that. And I'm doing that shit.
I think that might be genetic.
And mom's real good at math. She did all the books on which
I'm like, do you have a calculator? I'm like, and you're like, how did this abacus even get here?
Oh, that's another fucking thing we say. We're talking about lines. It's from Family Guy. Like, she would poke me and say, "Do math." She's not good at math, and she would do that shit.
Whenever
when people put an Asian kid on the table.
Yeah. Whenever I make an irresponsible driving choice from Family Guy, I say, "Good luck, everybody else." And anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thinking about it, I'm raising my kids completely different than the way I was raised, and not knocking I had a great childhood. I learned tons from my parents, but I'm in such a different place. I think in my life than I think about my dad. Like my dad worked his ass off, traveled, which I do. So from that standpoint, he wasn't home a lot. I'm not home a lot. I travel with my job, but like I relate to my kids because toys and movies and cartoons and stuff. My dad was completely unplugged from all that. It was a different age. You got to really think about that. Toys are. You're 10. Put your toys up. Go get your axe. It's time to work or whatever. I think a lot. You'd mentioned just being polite. Yes sir, no ma'am. Hold doors for people, and that's a lost art nowadays.
I agree.
And I beat that into my kid's head. I think Mason's got it pretty well. My younger two.
Work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, Selena, the same way.
Don't say yeah to me. Say, yes, sir, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that I demand the respect. It's I want you to learn that for when you go out in the world.
General public.
Like my boss is my age, and I say yes, ma'am, to her, and she's like, and it's just an Alabama thing, maybe, but she's like, you don't have to do that.
I do that.
Yeah,
We're the same
I
age.
do it.
Even
Like, younger
it's
than
a
me.
respect
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I actually have people say all the time, like, are you in the military? And I'm like, well, contrary to what you read on TFW, I was not in the military. I'm just polite.
Did they say you were in another TFW?
Yeah, you never heard about that? We talked about it here for a while.
I don't know how to log in there.
They were like, I think he's in the military. I think he's, no, it wasn't even somebody saying think. It was somebody saying, I know. It was somebody criticizing me. And they were like, look, and I know he was
Because you have all the time or whatever.
Yeah, he was like, I know he was in the military and he was probably wounded in combat. And that's why he has all this time to make videos and all this stuff. Because
Headcanon. Yeah.
So I'm looking for my Purple Heart to arrive any day now.
The respect for your things is
That's
it's a
big.
big one. Because like that was drilled in me because I was like that because like I don't know. I mean, as a kid, you don't buy any of your own shit,
Right.
but as you grow up, you do. And Krista is opposite of me. Not that she doesn't buy. She buys all her own shit. She buys expensive shit, but she leaves stuff laying around. Like
Yeah.
she like. Drop things like, and she doesn't really fucking care. I'm like, I can't wrap my head around it. It's like, you fucking worked and you paid for that. That shit is $60. How can you just fucking knock it off the table without giving a fuck about it?
And I say all that with my upstairs currently being a fucking war zone because we're inventorying everything after BCC and figuring out what we need to buy for TFCon and all. But generally, my house is a little bit more put together than what it is. Your house is, I feel like, beautiful every time I walk into it. It's fucking put together. But maybe I'm just getting the guest treatment.
Been there.
Oh, I mean, sometimes you just come by and we feel
Yeah.
like it's a mess. Like it was a mess after this weekend, and Kelly spent, bless her heart, a good bit of time earlier this week cleaning up.
Well, there was one time I was there in your basement. It was like a kind of a disaster, but you had just got a whole bunch of shit or something. And
Yeah, it's a mess right now because one, I built that machine, which was like a 2-day project, so there was shit everywhere for that. And now there's the Rockbox stuff is everywhere. And
Right.
then Kelly had actually set her booth up in the basement as what she wanted to do, which she didn't end up doing. So we had all that shit down there. So, and I built a Billy recently, and then the boxes. Yeah, it's in transition, but we try to keep a neat house. The kids, my daughter I've literally given up on her room. I got tired of saying, I'm like, you're going to die in here because you're going to get lost, or ants are going to carry you away because you're so messy. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm just tell my wife, you can deal with it, or it is what it is.
yeah, your house is pretty well put together most of the time, and Adam's house
Adam's
is pretty
first
well
floor
put
at
together.
least is fucking spotless on. I'm like, how do you fucking
But
do that?
I chalk that up to my wife and I both work. That's what the
Yeah.
excuse I use because it's the only way I can live with myself.
Oh yeah, I have no excuse. My house is kind of a mess, but like I'm always doing
you,
things everywhere.
But you both work.
I have off time.
You got all this kit. No, wait.
Well, those kittens. Is that what you're gonna say?
They do make a fucking mess. But yeah, my house should be cleaner than this. But every time I get a free moment, I want to do my own shit. So
Yeah.
like I keep it clean. Like there's a difference between clean, dirty, and messy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah.
but there's stuff where it shouldn't be.
My shit is right now. Like I don't even like being on my first floor.
My least favorite part of just, I guess, life in general with living with other people is, where did you put so and so? That was mine, and I had it exactly where I knew it, where it was. Now I need it, and I moved it, but I don't remember where. That's fucking great.
Oh, I didn't know you lived with Bobby.
I can never keep track of.
We
my
have a
shit.
running joke when, hey Bobby, where's so and so? I don't know. It's like, let me call Joe. That's the running joke. Anytime no matter where we are, if we're together
true.
and something's misplaced.
It's true. All right, I think we can wrap up on that. That'll do it for today.
Did you at least get a policy question? He said.
Oh no, I didn't. Let's do that one.
I always put on the very bottom.
Oh,
so we
okay,
know
all
what
right.
it
So
is.
Paul C said, if you had to seduce the other cast members of NRR, how would you do it? You guys know each other. Let's save that for Adam.
Save that for Adam.
Let's save that for Adam. And Justin said, "What is onion cheese?" That's the real question on my mind.
Dude, onion cheese is fucking awesome. I think Adams gets it from Trader Joe's.
Onion cheese.
It's like slices of cheese, like you know, like pepper jack.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have stuff in it. It's
just
onion
onions
cheese. It's
instead.
like it's fucking delicious
Wait,
on a sandwich.
I'm lost. Explain it to me.
It's like pieces of roasted maybe onions.
Roasted onions, that's in there.
in the cheese that was cheesed with the milk.
Do you guys like? I know Bobby. I'll go ahead and say Bobby. Do you like pimento cheese spread? Have you ever had pimento cheese?
I
spread?
like cheese. I haven't met a cheese I don't like.
Dude, Justin L loves cheese. Good.
Like like stinky cheese. I don't moldy cheese. I have not met a cheese I don't like.
So are you familiar with like?
I don't know
pimento
the
cheese
names.
spread.
What is it? This,
So it's a sandwich spread. So it's in
It's
like
not brie.
No, it's pimentos mixed with cheese.
I don't even know what pimentos are. I'm too foreign for
Yeah.
that shit. Oh, okay. So it's not just me. What is pimentos?
I don't know exactly. Pimento is
Is it a flower?
no, it's a
seed,
little
or-
I don't know, maybe almost like a pepper, but not quite.
Okay.
Trying to think of something else pimentos would be in. I don't know.
Nothing.
look it
Because
up.
I've never heard of it.
You ever heard of pimentos?
Palmettos.
No, no. You got me mixed up. I actually had a hard time finding. I wanted some and went to Weas, and the only thing they had it in the gourmet section. And it was like
gourmet
a little
cheese.
tube of it. It was like $7.50, which was
have to try it.
It seemed ridiculous, and after debating it, I'm like, it's $7. Come on, just buy the shit. And I've been eating the hell out of it. It's jalapeno flavored too.
Okay, I got to try.
it is.
Let me-
Looks
let me
like looks like a cross almost between a pepper and a tomato.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to look that shit up. I like cheese.
Yeah,
I
cheese
just
does
put it
look
on-
good.
I just put it on like white bread with
Of course.
with mayonnaise and roll with it.
Of course.
Yeah, I prefer it.
cheese on white bread and mayonnaise. That's fucking
it's
trash.
it's not-
that it's not good.
It's
Wait,
not a slice of
so-
cheese. It's not a slice of cheese. It's a
And let me say this: when we were poor, I had many mayonnaise cheese sandwiches.
Dude, I had mayonnaise sandwiches. I like it. It doesn't make it not trash just because you like it.
That's
You know what? You can buy chicken salad in like the little tub. It comes like that.
That's the cheese.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, that
see
looks
it.
good to me too.
Oh yeah. That's it.
I'm surprised you don't like your shit mix, Bobby.
Yeah, but every now and then I've gotten better, man.
Dude, that video you put up
Which one?
with your kid.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, listening to Nothing Compares to You and her saying it was
Yeah.
trash. Fucking kid, man. She can't stand anything good.
Or you just old.
Oh, yeah. See, that is something like it's very, very different because like I'm constantly trying to expose my kids to media, like to music and movies and art and this type of shit. And
Are they not receptive? Because I grew up on it. Before I found my own music, not that I have a huge music identity, but finding what I like and just like having a choice in music. I grew up listening to kind of like oldies, soft rock, anything. Because I just listened to what my parents listened to, and I love that shit, and I still love that shit.
My kids, like, the baby likes it, you know, the music. And Selena likes probably 75% of it. But Jaina, like, nope.
She
You know
into?
that going back to the parenting thing for a minute. My dad, like, he drives around the car and he doesn't listen to anything.
There's silence.
That or he listens to like talk radio. But a lot of the time, like, you be in the car together and it's dead silence. And I'm like,
That's a crazy person.
I'm going to turn on the radio.
That's a fucking silence. Is
But he's like, I'll think a lot. I think in the car. I'm like, so okay, that's fine. And my mom, like, This is very, light listening. She liked like Neil Diamond and things like that.
Dude,
So,
Love on the Rocks is badass.
so I had to find my own musical identity, which was, gangster rap and then, Metallica and stuff like
Yes.
that. And it's a connection like Mason and I have a real musical connection. We both like Shine Down and stuff
Yes.
in that pocket
Yeah.
of music. And he
Late
likes,
90s, early 2000s.
yeah. And he likes some hip hop too. So, that is something different from a parenting standpoint. Like I had no musical connection. The only musical connection I can tell you about my parents is my mom liked Neil Diamond, and my dad had an Eagles T-shirt that I shredded for Halloween one year, and he got pissed. But it was like
shit.
20 years old at that time. So
Well, when as a kid, I always thought talk radio was stupid and boring. Like, why do you want to just fucking listen to people talking? And I fucking listen to podcasts more than I listen to
Right.
anything else nowadays.
yeah, it's a paradigm shift. I mean, they're not talking
We're
about
just getting old.
nerd shit on.
Yeah, but it's still like I never could wrap my head around wanting to listen to people talk about shit. As a kid,
I
you
got
know?
real big into
Yeah.
political talk radio for a while, and then I don't anymore.
My grandma
you're
listened
part
to
of talk
nothing
radio
but
now.
AM.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, modern talk radio. My grandma listened to nothing but AM, like all the time. Rush Limbaugh and that type of shit. You know what I mean? That shit heavy into that. All right, well, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
You lead it off, Joe.
Fluffy ladies.
Whoa, no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
We gotta
yeah,
give shout-outs.
shout-outs, bro.
Shout-outs to the Cool Table. We got Shattercast Uncut. We have Enter the Realm. We have Beer and Bolters. We have Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Toy Detox, Building Up to It, Fresh Communication, and Breaking the Mold. We also have the Nerd Rage team, Raul, Marilyn Phil, holding down Instagram and Twitter respectfully, and also Dante doing the Facebook stuff and making cool ass shirts. Adam, of course, he couldn't be here today. Black Phillip and Manny. And do you want to plug anything while you're here for the sake of it?
Sure, Crashbox Customs on social media. Enter the Realm Monday nights. I know you already mentioned that. And,
Yep.
Realm.
Realm.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right, Joe.
And with that, Flappy Labias.
Tasty Taint.
Tight dick player.
Love on the rocks, ain't no surprise. Just pour me a drink and I'll tell you some